Naruto activated the heaven-defying enlightenment system at the beginning. Chapter 61. As soon as Sasuke asked this question, Uchiha Itachi's eyes changed. He was very smart, but his way of thinking was a bit rigid. The first thing he thought of when he found the Sharingan was to take it back. At the same time, he wanted the other party to pay the price. Sasuke, do you mean to say that someone is plotting against us Uchiha? Uchiha Fugaku also understood the key point and spoke directly. Father, this is what I think. It's no secret that the village will limit the number of us Uchiha who can go out. If the other party knows, then. Sasuke did not continue. The Uchiha people are just a little crazy, but they are not fools. Not to mention, these ninjas have experienced the Ninja World War and have been in internal conflicts within the family. Sasuke has a point. If the other party can do this, he must be strong. Otherwise, there is no way to escape from Itachi's hands. Clan leader, we need to take action. We still need to mobilize all our strength. We need to use thunder, we need to go all out to kill the enemy. After Uchiha Hawasawa realized what was happening, he also spoke up. Nagasawa is right. If it is really a setup, the people we arranged to go out may be sacrificed. Death is not scary, but being plotted to die is really a grieve. Uchiha Natsumi said angrily. Patriarch, otherwise. Sasuke didn't need to participate in the next thing. His goal was achieved. After seeing his father and his brother join the discussion, Sasuke left the meeting room. Back at the training ground, Naruto was still practicing the Rasengan. Although he had mastered it, Naruto was still a little troubled by the problem of chakra control. The main reason was that there was too much chakra, and if he just used some, Kakashi would probably think he was wasting chakra. Naruto, is this a new technique? Sasuke then noticed the Rasengan in Naruto's hand and came over curiously. He had watched Naruto do it before, but he didn't pay much attention to it because he also wanted to improve his physique. Now, he felt that it was a bit strange. This is Rasengan, a non-series ninjutsu that can be used to improve one's control over chakra. Sasuke, do you want to try it too? Naruto raised the Rasengan in his hand and looked at Sasuke. Technique, practice chakra control. Or the unprinted one. Okay, teach me. Sasuke did not continue to worry about the family affairs, because he believed in his brother and father. His attention was completely shifted to the Rasengan in Naruto's hand. Good. Watch carefully. Naruto first released the Rasengan in his hand. First try to gather your chakra into your hands. Then, control the chakra to start rotating in one direction and then compress it. It's like this. Buzz. Naruto said, and the chakra in his hand began to spin rapidly. The scattered chakra was controlled and compressed to the position of the palm of his hand, and a fist-sized Rasengan appeared in Naruto's hand. Boom! As Naruto placed his hands on the ground, a huge amount of energy exploded instantly. A large spherical pit appeared on the ground. How can this be considered chakra control training? This is clearly a powerful technique. Sasuke Yame was stunned. Yeah, it can also be used as a means of attack. Sasuke, you can also learn it, and with your talent, you can definitely use it to a more powerful effect. I'll continue. Naruto smiled and said. Sasuke was used to being praised by Naruto, so he nodded confidently and went to do physical training first. 2 days later, in the training ground, Naruto, I got it. I got it. Sasuke rushed to Naruto excitedly, raised the Rasengan in his hand and handed it to Naruto. You said you studied it for several months, but I mastered it in 2 days. Am I more powerful? Sasuke said arrogantly. I have to say, this kind of second pillar is really cute. Sasuke is amazing. Naruto gave a thumbs up. Indeed, he was able to master the Rasengan in 2 days. Sasuke's talent is really strong. Sasuke, Naruto. It's time to eat. At this time, Uchiha Itachi's voice reached the ears of the two. Good, I'm here. Both of them nodded and went to wash up. A few minutes later, they sat in the restaurant. Today, Uchiha Fugaku also came back. At this time, Uchiha Fugaku, Uchiha Makoto, and Uchiha Itachi were all here. But no one spoke. This is the rule, don't talk casually during meals. After dinner, Sasuke, Naruto, you stay here first. I can clean it up myself. Uchiha Makoto pressed down Sasuke and Naruto and took the things on the table away. Naruto, Sasuke also told you about the Uchiha, right? Did you guys discuss the things Sasuke mentioned? Uchiha Fugaku spoke up. Yeah, Naruto glanced at Sasuke and nodded. We have decided that Itachi and I will go on the mission. You should also pay attention to your training and your own safety in the village recently. Uchiha Fugaku said calmly. Hearing this, Naruto was stunned. Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Itachi went out together. Even with a powerful Uchiha ninja, it is easy to have problems. Moreover, if Obito is involved. Uncle, Itachi. If possible, I think don't do this. Naruto took a deep breath and spoke. Let's not talk about the relationship with Uchiha. But, the Uchiha is in trouble now, which is not a good situation for Naruto. The biggest contradiction balance point disappears, and Naruto will be placed in the center of the vortex again. Sure enough, those guys really don't want to let Uchiha go. The power of Uchiha is too strong. If they don't disappear, all their plans will fail. Naruto, what are you worried about? Itachi spoke slowly. Sasuke told me these things these days. There is no doubt that this incident was a plot against Uchiha. What exactly it is, I don't know. However, if you have absolutely overwhelming strength, you can also kill the opponent in return. Naruto said seriously. Absolutely overwhelming strength. Naruto, you mean, Sharingan. Uchiha Itachi wanted to ask something, but he saw Naruto raised his hand and pointed at his eyes. Yes, Sasuke told me. After listening to Naruto's words, Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Fugaku fell silent. A few days later, in Konoha's public training ground, when Sasuke and Naruto came, Kakashi was already waiting here with Sakura. Let's go and take a look at the examination room. I won't be going home for the next 3 days. The room near the examination room is also open for you. Kakashi said simply, and then led the 3 people to the direction of the examination. When they arrived, Might Guy was already here with his 3 students. This time, we will definitely take first place. Kakashi, let's bet on our youth. Stop. Before Might Guy could rush over, Kakashi interrupted him with disgust. Did you guys come here early too? Before Might Guy could get upset, Kurenai Yuhi's voice came. Asuma also came with Kurenai Yuhi. The 4 classes gathered here at the same time. The 4 teachers left while talking. The 12 little strong men were left here. Naruto, follow me. Suddenly, Nara Shikamaru came to Naruto and pulled him to leave. Poof. The next moment, Naruto's hand was grabbed by another person. Neji. I was the first to grab Naruto's hand. Shikamaru raised his head and looked at Neji, his eyes were a little impatient. I also have something to do, I want Naruto to help me. Shikamaru, if you just want to play with Naruto, you'd better let him go first. Naruto, electrocute me. Neji spoke directly. It was hilarious. After spending so much time with Naruto, Neji had already learned to speak up if he needed anything. People have mouths, isn't that for speaking? During this period of time, because of the separate special training, Neji found that his physical strength and chakra were both reduced. Now that he finally got to meet Naruto again, he would not give up. Naruto-kun, I want to. Hinata, somewhat shyly, walked in front of Naruto. She wanted to say something, but couldn't. In fact, we can all practice together. Naruto was a little helpless. These guys are really motivated. It was not until lunchtime that everyone finished the electric shock training. Sasuke, Naruto, Sakura, what have you been training for during this period? I feel like Naruto and Sasuke's lightning release has become even stronger. Shikamaru spoke directly. I am doing chakra control training. Sasuke is a physical strengthening training. As for Sakura, I don't know. Naruto didn't hide it. This kind of training is not a secret. Even if it is revealed, it is not a big deal. Is that so? It seems that I can't beat you this time. Oh, it's so hard to graduate early. Shikamaru held his head and said in frustration. Naruto is very powerful now, he is indeed the friend I chose. Naruto, give it to me. These are my favorite potato chips. If I fight you during the test, you should hit me gently. Sinki handed over a bag of potato chips. The worried look on his face made it hard to think he was lying. We will not give up. Naruto, use your fists to right youth with me. Rock Lee showed his white teeth. Then, his eyes fell on Sakura. Sakura, if I defeat Naruto and Sasuke, be my girlfriend. Xiao Li confessed directly. Bang! The next moment, a fist landed on Rock Lee's head. Sorry, Xiao Li may have fallen asleep. I'll drag him away first. Ningji was a little embarrassed and dragged Xiao Li aside. Good guy, being teammates with such a person is really. The boys' noise in the cafeteria was very pleasant. However, the world outside Konoha village was not so pleasant. Itachi, this is already the 6th group of people. Moreover, these guys are all very strong. It seems that your plan against us is correct. Uchiha Naga stood on a plain, with blood still dripping from the short knife in his hand. Not far away, there were 8 corpses lying on the ground. The others are probably about the same as us. Brother Nagasawa, keep moving. Try to find the person behind this in the shortest possible time. After saying this, Uchiha Itachi disappeared from here in an instant. Fire style. Flame explosion. Uchiha Hazawa threw a fire style at the corpse and disappeared. It had been less than 2 days since they left the village. A large number of ninjas had already appeared to ambush them. These ninjas were not the bearers of the Sharingan. They were ninjas similar to assassins. Their fighting style was mainly surprise attacks. At the beginning, it did cause a lot of trouble. However, in front of the Uchiha with the Sharingan, such surprise attacks were indeed not enough. After a day, they had gotten used to it. They could even detect the existence of these ninjas in advance. At this time, in a cave, I have already led the people out for you. The resources and intelligence provided also gave. Where is what I want? Orochimaru leaned against a huge stone pillar in the cave and asked playfully. In front of Orochimaru, one was Uchiha Obito wearing a mask, and the other was Shimura Danzo leaning on a cane. Orochimaru, you really won't participate. If you get involved, all the corpses you get are yours. But once you quit now. There's no need to say this, I don't want to face those crazy people from Uchiha. If you win, you will come to me. And what I need is not a corpse. Orochimaru interrupted Shimura Danzo and stretched out his hand. Danzo knew that it would be difficult to tie Orochimaru up. This guy was not born to be easily restricted. So he did not continue to speak, took out a box and handed it to Orochimaru. Then I'll go first. I wish you a smooth operation. Orochimaru said, and disappeared directly. He really didn't miss it at all. He already knew the information outside. Dozens of ninjas took action, and all were killed by Uchiha. Moreover, from the ambush at the beginning, until now, it has really become a situation of being chased by Uchiha. Moreover, Orochimaru clearly felt that the Uchiha who came out this time was a little different. Orochimaru was very confident in his judgment. It would be better not to intervene this time. Moreover, now he really got what he wanted. So he was not prepared to intervene. After Orochimaru left, Danzo's face became a little bad. Where are the people you arranged? Danzo's eyes fell on Uchiha Obito. At this moment, Danzo was in a very bad mood. Because, the ones who were being chased and slaughtered by the Uchiha were the forces he had raised outside the village. These were the forces outside of Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes, and they belonged exclusively to him. Over the years, all the resources seized from the village were used to train these ninjas. Every death was enough to make Danzo feel painful. But now, just to target the Uchiha, dozens of people have been lost. If this plan fails, then Danzo will really vomit blood. Don't worry, the person I arranged is on the way. Moreover, if we deplete the Uchiha's power now, we will be able to kill all the Uchiha who come out. Facing the anger of Shimura Danzo, Uchiha Obito just spoke calmly. Danzo's brows tightened. Don't worry, it's so funny, the people who died now are his people. Moreover, the power of the Uchiha this time was so strong that it exceeded Danzo's intelligence. As a result, many ninjas were killed before they could react. Now, the information left and the intelligence sent back are pitifully little. The most important thing is that Danzo doesn't know what to say now. The whole person is a little aggrieved. If he hadn't already started to act, he wouldn't even want to continue. Here, suddenly, a voice came into the cave. Danzo frowned, looked at the masked man Uchiha Obito in front of him, and turned around and fled. Because no matter what happened next, he must not be exposed. If one person from the current Uchiha escaped, Danzo would immediately face the wrath of the entire Uchiha. In addition to Sarutobi Hiruzen's current ambiguous attitude, Danzo didn't dare to gamble. With his character, he wouldn't gamble. Boom! The next moment, the terrifying flames rushed directly into the cave. The explosion sounded. The other party is not dead. And there's only one person left. It seems that the others have already escaped. Uchiha Natsumi stared at the cave in front of him and spoke calmly. The other people did not speak, but just stood there calmly. If it were not for the Scarlet Sharingan, they would be professional spectators. In the flames, a figure slowly walked out. Uchiha Obito was not even injured, not even his clothes were affected. He appeared in front of everyone step by step. Uchiha, he is too familiar. Opening the Mangekyo and not opening it are simply two levels. In front of these people, he, Uchiha Obito, is the god of Uchiha. Now, Uchiha Obito's confident steps suddenly paused. The person standing in the middle of the group of people in front of him was Uchiha Itachi. At this moment, the pair of Mangekyo Sharingan were staring straight at him. At the same time, those standing around Uchiha Itachi, behind him, how could it be possible? They were all Mangekyo. Is this what you planned? Your eyes are also my Uchihas, right? Uchiha Itachi said calmly. Since you have chosen to stand on the opposite side, then. Uchiha Natsumi finished speaking, and his left eye began to spin. A flame instantly appeared around them, surrounding them. The blue flame gave people a cold illusion. Blue Moro. Uchiha Natsumi opened his mouth slightly, stretched out his hand, and a blue flame appeared in his hand. Yes, the reputation of the Uchiha people should never be trampled upon. Uchiha Obito's radiant Mangekyo also spun. There was no change in the surroundings, but Uchiha Obito left his original position in an instant. Puff! A muffled sound was heard, and a dark hole appeared on the ground. Can you avoid it? It's really amazing. Uchiha Hayes smiled and said. A fluorescent dot appeared on his finger. One of his Mangekyo abilities, Sumo. At this time, Uchiha Obito was numb. Although his Kamui could be virtualized, it still consumed a lot of chakra. Because of the Sharingan and Kamui, he basically used virtualization when he was in contact, instead of being in the virtual state all the time. But many of the Sharingan's attacks did not have any pre-swing. Even with the locked pupil technique. Sure enough, it's really a troublesome family. Uchiha Obito said, his body slowly sinking into the ground. Amaterasu. Uchiha Itachi's Sharingan began to spin. The black flame instantly fell on Obito's position, and the blue flame in Uchiha Natsumi's hand also turned into a flame chain and attacked. However, at this time, Obito had entered a state of virtualization and sank into the ground. Soon, the breath disappeared. He ran away. Uchiha Linmu's Sharingan spun, and then he spoke slowly. His left eye of the Mangekyo Sharingan, Pure Land. It can perceive everything around it with itself as the center. Brother Lin Mu, the next move needs to be accelerated. Otherwise, those people might evacuate. Itachi said seriously. Okay. Uchiha Linmu nodded, and then the Pure Land was released. The Pure Land is divided into a circle and a line. The circle is centered on Uchiha Linmu and senses all situations within 500 meters around it. The line is a straight line scan, with a longer distance and faster perception speed. Found it. 7 people, Uchiha Linmu said, and disappeared from the spot. The others also disappeared. The next day, on a small mountain in the land of fire. Itachi, it's almost cleaned up. As you guessed, the so-called Sharingan is just a clue. What these people really want to do is to attack us Uchiha. Uchiha Hayes was full of admiration. Before, he had some complaints about Uchiha Itachi, thinking that Uchiha Itachi had betrayed the family and became a lackey of the Konoha high-level officials. But now, Uchiha Hayes was convinced. This new brain was better than theirs. There seemed to be some problems in the village. This incident, without the collusion of the ninjas within Konoha, people outside the village would not be able to do it. So, this time when I go back, I have to conduct an investigation. Uchiha Natsumi frowned and said. Don't worry, the power we showed this time should be enough to keep those guys quiet for a while. According to the method Itachi provided before, let's become stronger first. As the others finished speaking, they all turned their attention to Uchiha Itachi. At this moment, Itachi also felt what a family was. The glory of the family also shone on him at this moment. Go home. Uchiha Itachi just uttered 2 words lightly. The eyes of other Uchiha members all gleamed. Because Uchiha Itachi said, go home. Not, go back to the village. Bang. Things kept falling to the ground in the root organization. Everything was smashed. Danzo even dug out the bricks and smashed them on the ground. Several root members stood aside in fear, looking at the angry Shimura Danzo. They didn't understand why Danzo suddenly got angry. But Danzo couldn't calm down at all. The forces he cultivated outside were reduced to 7 people. Moreover, these 7 people were chosen because they ran fast, not because they were strong. What about the Uchiha, the target of the plan this time? It's so funny, they just wasted a few days and their chakra that might have been restored. As for his so-called collaborators, Orochimaru took the resources without any loss, and even gained a lot. And that masked man, this guy said that he arranged people. In the end, let alone people, not even a dog was seen. Good, good. Now is it the achievement that only Danzo himself was injured? Bang. Thinking of this, Danzo took off another brick and smashed it on the ground. On the other side of the village, the cheerful atmosphere formed a sharp contrast with this place. The special assessment also started today. At this time, the first group of individual battles standing in the battlefield, Uzumaki Naruto vs. Inuzuka Kiba. The others were in the stands. Kiba faced Naruto in the first match. It seems a bit dangerous. Yes, although Kiba's improvement is good, it is still a little bit behind Naruto. Come on, yeah, there's no need to cheer up. If you do, you'll just get beaten even harder. The discussion among the 10 people naturally reached the ears of Inuzuka Kiba. Naruto, I know I may not be your opponent, but I will still try my best. Inuzuka Kiba said, raising his finger. Bang. Akamaru beside him turned into Kiba. Well, I'll take it seriously. We are friends, so we should have this attitude. Naruto also spoke up. He slowly raised his hand. Multiple shadow clone technique. With the explosion of chakra, the entire battlefield was filled with Naruto. Even if you didn't sense it carefully, you couldn't find the position of Inuzuka Kiba at all. Kakashi, is this the result of your special training for your students? Didn't you say that you wanted this kid to be more restrained? Is this what you call restraint? Kurenai rushed to Kakashi with some anger, pointing at the battlefield full of Naruto. Good man, this scene is too familiar. When she went out on a mission before, she saw so many Naruto. Kurenai still remembers that scene. Now, for the battle assessment of her students, so many shadow clones are required. Good man, are you here to bully me? Hong, this is not the tactic I arranged. Moreover, their conversation just now. Teacher, the battle is over. Just as Kakashi was about to say something, Naruto's voice came. Everyone subconsciously looked towards the battlefield. Inuzuka Kiba and Akamaru were both lying on the ground, motionless. There were no marks on their bodies, only their clothes were a little wrinkled. Naruto, I had too many shadow clones just now, and my teeth got dizzy. I forgot to calculate the range here. Naruto scratched the back of his head, a little embarrassed. Hearing Naruto's words, everyone's faces were all black. Oh my god, I guess Kiba is the first ninja to be knocked unconscious during the battle. Well, Naruto wins this actual combat test. Medical ninja, please treat my tooth. The second match begins, Haruno Sakura vs. Yamanaka Ino. Kakashi was the first to react, speaking quickly. Soon, Inuzuka Kiba was taken away. Naruto also left the battlefield. Sakura and Ino stood in the field. The two immediately engaged in a physical battle. After several collisions, Ino's face became a little ugly. Xiaoying, when did you become so strong? Ino rubbed her hands. Even though she used chakra to protect them, her hands were still injured in the battle. Control your chakra, and then use the transfer of chakra to strengthen the combat during the battle. This is the result of my practice in recent times. Sakura smiled. She wanted to chase the two most powerful monsters among the 12 people. If she didn't work hard, she wouldn't be able to stand beside them. Chakra control. Is it possible to achieve this level just by controlling chakra? But, after saying this, Yamanaka Ino stretched out her hands. Bang! The next moment, Sakura punched the ground. The battlefield was smashed into a cloud of dust. Then, stone fragments burst out from the dust. Ino didn't care to use the Yamanaka family's secret technique at this time, and quickly dodged. Ino, I have studied your strength and skills. Give me enough time, I may not be able to resist. But what if I don't give you time? Or, do you have any other tricks to delay me? Sakura rushed out from the dust, raised her fist, and punched Ino. Boom, boom, boom. Every punch left a big hole on the ground. Yamanaka Ino's eyebrows also jumped. With such an attack, she would be defeated if she was hit once, right? However, she is a ninja of the Yamanaka clan. During this period, Ino, Shika, and Cho were all practicing under the guidance of their elders. Yamanaka Inoichi is the strongest informant in Konoha. At the same time, he is also the strongest in the Yamanaka clan. Naturally, he spared no effort in teaching Yamanaka Ino. Therefore, Ino is also confident. Heart control technique. Ino's hand turned around instantly, and her body dodged Sakura's attack in a weird way. At the same time, she raised her hand and grabbed Sakura's fist. With Sakura's power, she threw Sakura out. This is a special secret technique that allows absolute control of the body. However, the time Ino can maintain is too short now. When Sakura was thrown out, this state was lifted. Sakura, it's over. Heart-to-heart technique. Ino made seals with both hands again and aimed at Sakura. As long as Sakura's body was taken away, she would lose. Such a method, unless there was a being who was much stronger than Ino, could not resist this technique. Bang! Just when Ino was feeling proud, Sakura, who had just been controlled, turned into white mist. Shadow clone. Ino was stunned and subconsciously wanted to move. Ino, you lose. Sakura's somewhat joyful voice came from behind. There was something hard against her waist. A kunai was pressed against Ino's back, and Sakura's voice followed. You were a shadow clone when you punched me just now, right? Ino raised her hands helplessly, making a gesture of surrender. Moreover, this one now is also a shadow clone. I have to be on guard against your secret technique. Ino, you are a partner I recognize very much, so I know how powerful you are. Sakura smiled repeatedly. It was as if she was chatting with her best friend. I give up. This time, Ino finally let go of all the thoughts in her mind. Good man, even in such a situation, Sakura was still on guard against her doing something else. What was there to struggle about? In the second match, Sakura wins. Kakashi announced loudly. The two of them also left the battlefield hand in hand. Team 3, Hyuga Neji vs Nara Shikamaru. I give up. Kakashi had just finished speaking when Shikamaru had already raised his hands to admit defeat. Fighting with Neji. It was so funny. During the normal training, he was always beaten up. Now, he had to be beaten up in public. This was a bit brainless. Team 4. Soon, the individual battle was over. Naruto won. Sasuke won. Sakura won. Ninki won. Shino won. Rock Lee won. The 7th Madara won all the games. Sasuke's opponent was Tenten, and Tenten made the same choice as Shikamaru. She couldn't think of any way to win against Sasuke. Moreover, Sasuke always went all out no matter who he was fighting. Even during the actual combat training, he didn't hold back when he beat Sakura, Ino and other girls. Tenten didn't want to be abused. Is this assessment still necessary? Class 7 will definitely be number 1. Yes, these 3 little guys are so powerful. Sakura, after the recent special training, seems to have become a different person. Kakashi, how did you train? Even Might Guy, who always insisted on the theory of youth, looked at Kakashi with some curiosity. As for Asuma, he led the class of Ino Shikacho. The combined strength of the 3 families was not weak, but when facing Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura, they would probably be in trouble. At this time, he was also a little curious. However, his inner pride did not allow him to ask. Naruto and Sasuke were specially trained by themselves. Sakura, I took her to the hospital. Kakashi said without emotion. In fact, the corners of his mouth under the mask could no longer be suppressed. Died of laughter. These 4 special classes, now Naruto and his team are outstanding, Kakashi must be very proud. Send to hospital. Sakura is sick. Might Guy was a little confused. Obviously, this kind of information was not something his brain could process. Go to the hospital and try to practice medical ninjutsu. At the same time, she learned how to control the flow of chakra. The rest is all the child's own efforts. It was similar to the conversation with the teachers. Naruto and the other 12 were also talking about the same thing. Moreover, they were more effective than Kakashi and the others. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura have been recognized as the best. Because of the results of the actual combat training, except for Sakura, who was a gap, the other two were completely bugs. Naruto. Usually, fighting with Naruto is never one-on-one. Instead, it is one against dozens or hundreds. Just now, Inuzuka Kiba was made real by the shadow clone. Team battle. That means the three of them against a whole team. So, after discussing, they went directly to find their instructor, the Jonin, to admit defeat. Hokage-sama. At this moment, Kakashi spoke. Everyone turned around. Hokage-sama. Sarutobi Hiruzen came here at some point and was standing not far away. Very good. Your combat strength and combat awareness. Even his analysis of the battle has reached the level of a genin. Being able to proactively give up fighting is also a rare wisdom. So, this is an advanced test for you. And the result of this test, all of them passed. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the 12 people in front of him with satisfaction. Of course, he also praised the 4 guiding Jonin. Have we become genin too? Seems like it. Wow, Lord Hokage still looks very handsome like this. Lord Hokage, we will definitely work harder in our training. Lord Hokage is so awesome, I am considered a genius and I am barely 7 years old. I'm a 7-year-old genin, and I will definitely become a chunin before I'm 10. Come on, let's give our youth to the village. A group of children cheered. Even Naruto and Sasuke looked happy. In fact, Naruto already knew about the battle when it was announced. This test was definitely not a simple one. Either Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to give Naruto and the others the status of a genin. Because everyone knows that their class is the strongest. Or it was a special assessment. It seems that it was indeed the case. It was just like the Chunin exam in the original book. Looking at these cheering children, Sarutobi Hiruzen was happy. He continued to strengthen his position in their hearts, so, thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little dissatisfied. His son, Sarutobi Asuma, was really, not only was he not talented enough, but his moral character was also average. He could not find any major mistakes, but he also did not shine too much. If he was an ordinary ninja, he could still be considered excellent, but, as his son, as the 5th generation he wanted to establish, he was far behind. Next, you can choose the task to perform. Always remember, there is a village behind you. The light of the will of fire will always protect you. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face was full of pride. This kind of emotion is easy to infect people. Not to mention, they are a group of children. The light in their eyes is the easiest to shape. Guard the light of fire. Protect the light of the fire. 12 people raised their hands and shouted loudly. In their eyes, there was a glow of absolute faith flowing. 4 instructors, your salary will be increased by 1 Anbu captain's salary. At the same time, the 12 little guys were given resources according to the treatment of special Jonin. Next, I'll leave it to you. Sarutobi Hiruzen's pua is over. Now, it's time to give some tangible benefits. Lord Hokage. Lord Hokage. The 12 little ones were really happy, and they shouted happily. There was nothing to lose by shouting twice, and they could also gain trust and resources. This was totally free. What could be happier than getting something for free? Of course, we would get something for free together. After the 12 people came out of the examination venue, they came to the Uchiha training ground and sat together. The first step has been taken. Next, it is the original accumulation. We were able to become genin so quickly and get the approval of the Hokage. That is because of our age advantage, our status and our attitude towards the village. So, the next thing is the most important. Shikamaru, I'll leave this to you guys. Naruto's face was serious, and he no longer looked silly like he did at the examination site. Good. However, Each of our families has its own prescription medicine for improving body strength and meridian strength. In fact, we can all go home and get these things. Then, we choose the best one. Shikamaru nodded and said his thoughts carefully. By the way, our family's recipe is this. Shikamaru suddenly took out a piece of paper. There were 2 recipes on it. The first one was used to improve the body. The other one was used to improve the meridians. Ding, watch the secret formula of the Nara clan and understand the pharmacist. Ding, the host obtains the professional pharmacist and automatically comprehends the complete explanation of ninja world medicine. As the information of various medicinal materials continued to pour into his mind, the prescription in his hand was like a simple combination of 1 + 1 = 2 written by a child. Various pharmacology, efficacy, connection, defects, all the information appeared in his brain. This, Shikamaru, no need. Actually, I have lived alone since I was a child, and I often have no way to see a doctor when I am sick, and I don't have money. So, I have been looking for herbs to repair my body. This, maybe you can leave it to me. Naruto said seriously. Shikamaru was a little stunned. Good fellow, Naruto, you are playing me, right? Just now you said to leave it to him, and the next second you ruined it. Of course, based on his trust and recognition of Naruto, Shikamaru quickly recovered. Naruto, you mean to say that you can make a special medicine for us? Shikamaru was slightly surprised and excited. As smart as he was, how could he not understand what Naruto meant? First of all, Shikamaru, your brain is too powerful. Therefore, in chakra control, chakra release, ninjutsu, and secret technique release, it has a strong advantage. However, it is precisely because of this that your explosive power is insufficient, resulting in your chakra not having enough impact on the meridians. Simply put, your meridians are very weak, so the speed of refining chakra and the capacity of your own chakra will not be very large. What you need is not a medicine that simply strengthens the body's foundation, but a medicine that can also strengthen the meridians. Prescription words. Let's use this. Naruto finished speaking, picked up the pen in his hand, and wrote down the names and quantities of the herbs one by one on the paper. Some special herbs even had the year marked. Don't the medicinal effects of Wangshilian and Kyohua conflict. The purpose of this conflict is to blast the meridians. You don't need to be nurtured, you need to break through and cleanse your marrow. Naruto explained before Shikamaru finished asking. Then, the chakra in his body began to emerge. Boom. As Naruto controlled his body intentionally, the area around him was instantly impacted by chakra. The impact of the huge chakra shocked everyone. Although they were of the same age, Naruto's chakra and physical strength were much greater than theirs. I didn't know why before, but now it seems. Naruto, where did you get those herbs from? Shikamaru suddenly remembered something and his face twitched. Just 800 meters behind the mountain, there is a stream. Next to the stream is a piece of land with many unwanted medicinal herbs. When I need it, I'll go there and pick it up. By the way, since you mentioned this, I will arrange for my shadow clones to go pick up some now. After Naruto finished speaking, he raised his finger. He released multiple shadow clones and asked them to pick up some herbs. After all, the amount of herbs needed for the next training was very large. He was an orphan, unlike Shikamaru and the others, who could ask their families for money to buy herbs. He could only pick up some that others didn't want. Speaking of it, it looked a bit pitiful. But Shikamaru, Ino, the other members of the ninja clan were very reluctant to smile. After looking at each other, they didn't say anything. Naruto, what about me? Ino walked forward quickly. She knew Naruto had a great body. She even touched Naruto's abdominal muscles secretly. Ino was very envious of his usual strength. She also wanted to have such a strong physique. She had no doubt that Naruto could prepare the right medicine. Ino, you mainly need to strengthen your control, including training your mental strength when strengthening control. Your family's secret technique is a technique to strengthen mental strength. You can practice diligently. Just use a mild medicine that can calm the mind and strengthen the body. Separately, Naruto said as he wrote down the herbs that Ino needed. Seeing Naruto's proficiency, everyone trusted him more. Naruto-kun. Soon, everyone's prescriptions were ready. Hinata also came up timidly. They had been training together for so long, but Hinata was still a little shy when she looked at Naruto. Hinata, you have a strong talent, and you should have eaten well recently. So, next, Hinata, what you need to do is to maintain the current situation. As for medicine, it would be better to use some medicine that can strengthen the body and clear the meridians. These are what you usually use, and you can add deer antlers and deer grass to strengthen your blood. Naruto also wrote a prescription and handed it to Hinata. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Naruto-kun. Hinata put the paper in her pocket, her face flushed. Looking at the young wife in front of him, Naruto didn't know how to deal with it. He could only reach out and gently touch Hinata's head. Poof! Suddenly, Hinata let out a puff of hot air like a leaking steam engine. She fell unconscious on the ground. Hinata, Hinata-sama. Naruto quickly supported Hinata, and Neji also rushed over with concern. Ah, Naruto-kun. Hinata just opened her eyes and saw Naruto holding her. Her temperature rose again and she fell into a coma again. Hinata was finally brought back to the Hyuga clan by Neji. Neji seemed to know something, so he didn't go to the hospital. Although others felt strange, they didn't ask much. Maybe the physique of the Hyuga clan is quite special. After getting their own exclusive prescriptions, others all wanted to go back and try. After all, they were also looking forward to having the exaggerated chakra and body like Naruto. Sasuke, Sakura, let's go to the back hills to do some ninjutsu training. The training ground of Sasuke's family has just been repaired, so it would be a bad idea for us to destroy it. Naruto suggested. The two nodded and headed towards the back mountain. In secret, when the three of them were moving towards the back mountain, several ninjas also sneaked up. After leaving the center of the village, they entered a small path with dense forests. Naruto, Sasuke. Yeah, I know, Naruto. Do you want to take action? No, wait, there should be more than just these two people, Naruto. Okay, Sakura, Sasuke, the three whispered, while still walking forward normally. From time to time, they even kicked the stones under their feet. Swish! Suddenly, three people jumped down from the big trees on both sides and reached out to grab the three people. In their hands, they held a small scroll. The aura on the scroll was so strong that it was clear that it was a seal scroll. Although it was unclear what type of seal scroll it was, being sealed was definitely not a good thing. The three people were just about to dodge when a special curse seal appeared under their feet. Like a chain, it wrapped around the feet of the three people. Come with us obediently. A deep voice came out. The next moment, three scrolls fell on the three people. A series of seals spread out, sealing the three people. Bang! At this moment, the three little figures turned into white mist, and what remained on the ground were three sealed pieces of wood. Substitution technique. How is it possible? When? Bang! Before the man finished speaking, a foot landed directly on his chin. Physics interrupted his doubts. Before the dizziness ended, a terrifying force attacked his head. Without even a scream, the ninja fell to the ground. The other two were a little stunned, but what greeted them was Sasuke and lightning release. Sizzle! The terrifying lightning wrapped around the two of them. A pink figure appeared. Then, a pink fist enlarged in the eyeballs. However, this pink fist. I'm afraid it will hurt. Bang bang! Two muffled sounds were heard, and the masks of the two ninjas were shattered, and their bodies flew out. They fell heavily to the ground and lost consciousness. Rustle! 9 figures appeared again. Each ninja was wearing a mask. Naruto, are you guys doing actual combat training? Suddenly, a steady voice came. Lord Sandaime, Hokage-sama. Not only Naruto and the other two were a little surprised, but the other 9 were also a little surprised. Grandpa Hokage, this is the trial you arranged, right? As expected, the village values us. This kind of daily combat raid can really improve our strength quickly. Naruto showed a sunny smile and even wanted to step forward to thank him. Sarutobi Hiruzen forgot what to say for a moment. Cough cough. The three of them, were they defeated by you? Sarutobi Hiruzen coughed lightly and found 3 root organization ninjas lying on the scene. My goodness, these are real chunin. And they are chunin who are quite good in actual combat. Otherwise, Danzo would not look down on them. But now, they are lying on the ground one by one, like dead dogs. Probably not. We just touched them lightly. Perhaps, it was because they were tired from carrying out their missions recently, otherwise they wouldn't have fallen asleep. Naruto laughed. Sakura and Sasuke looked weird, but they just nodded frantically to agree with what Naruto said. Sarutobi Hiruzen had a black line on his face. The faces of the two ninjas who were knocked away by Sakura were deformed. Most likely, they had brain injuries. But in Naruto's words, it was because he was too tired. Cough cough. Do whatever you want to do, and next time, your reaction is very good. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't say anything, so he just explained it awkwardly. Then he glared at the other rude ninjas and turned away. Take care, Grandpa Hokage. Hey guys, do you want to continue training with us? If not, then let's go. Naruto's face was full of smiles and sunshine. It was hard to imagine how he could say such cold words. Rustle. The next moment, several members of the Anbu appeared. Lord Hokage wants to see you, come with us. After the Anbu finished speaking, he turned around and disappeared. The 9 rude members did not dare to stay any longer. As for the plan, what was the plan? What they had to think about now was how to face Sarutobi Hiruzen's interrogation. After the irrelevant personnel left, Sasuke walked to Naruto with some regret. It's over before we even warm up. Naruto, hurry up, let's see who reaches the destination first. As soon as Sasuke finished speaking, he turned into a bolt of lightning and disappeared. Running fast, Naruto smiled and followed, but when he left, he formed a few seals with his hands and landed on the bodies of the 3 people on the ground. There was a glimmer of fierceness in his eyes. Danzo. Since this old dog is still thieving, let's have some fun. Naruto restrained the fierceness in his eyes and disappeared here. In the Hokage's office, 9 people stood there and said nothing. Because Sarutobi Hiruzen had not asked anything until now, but just sat in his seat, processing documents. Half an hour later, Danzo opened the door and walked in. His face was extremely ugly. He really couldn't understand why 12 Chunins failed to capture 3 children. Moreover, they were caught by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Danzo, take them back. This is the last time. At the same time, the root organization's right to execute arrests in Konoha was revoked and returned to the guard department. Also, next time there is an action in the village without mission approval, the Anbu will have the right to stop it in any way. Sarutobi Hiruzen said calmly. Then, he continued to deal with the documents in his hand. Danzo knew that he was caught this time, so he didn't say much and left with the 9 people. As for the remaining 3, they were thrown into the hospital. It's so funny, taking them back now, there's no use. Uchiha Fugaku was completely stunned after receiving the news. They did nothing, but it seemed that everything was slowly going in a good direction. Whether it was the family's reputation and status in the village, or the power and relationships of their own family. The things that once gave Uchiha Fugaku a headache, now disappeared in a strange way. Father, we have already found out some things about the outside world. Inside, there are the shadows of Orochimaru and Root. Uchiha Itachi appeared in Uchiha Fugaku's study and told him the information he had found. In fact, you can guess it without investigating. But now that you are here, there is no need to worry about these things. Just take some precautions. Itachi, let's get started. Uchiha Fugaku spoke calmly. Good, but, that mysterious man. Who is it? Uchiha Itachi hesitated for a moment, and finally asked what he wanted to know. Not sure, but, someone with power higher than yours, and who stands by our Uchiha side to help us, maybe. Uchiha Fugaku did not directly say the man's name, because he participated in the man's funeral. Itachi, you can trust me. Finally, Uchiha Fugaku gave this conclusion. That night, in a dense forest in Konoha. Sir. Uchiha Itachi appeared here and bowed gently to the person in front of him. A ninja wearing a mask appeared here. Under the mask was a pair of Mangekyo Sharingan. With such powerful pupil power, even if ordinary ninjas didn't look directly into the eyes, they would fall into illusions. Ferret, you did a great job this time. Next, I want the village to be peaceful and strong. That rotten root has no need to exist anymore. The mysterious ninja slowly spoke. But sir, if we Uchiha take action directly, will. Uchiha Itachi was a little worried. After all, The Uchiha had just stabilized, and with Itachi's personality, he didn't want to take action directly. Uchiha, you are not supposed to be a family dog guarding the village. It should be a ferocious wolf running in the wilderness. If you put away your fangs, you will not be treated well by others, but will only be bullied. What was the result of the concession? The mysterious ninja said, and his Mangekyo Sharingan began to spin. The surrounding scene began to change. One by one, the tribesmen died in the calculation, and Uchiha Shisui's eyeball was taken away by Danzo. In the picture, Uchiha's blood slowly dyed Uchiha Itachi's eyes red. I understand. Uchiha Itachi nodded, and then disappeared from here in an instant. The consumption of Senluo Wanxiang is really quite large. The mysterious ninja closed his Sharingan and muttered. He slowly took off his mask, and it was the appearance of Naruto when he grew up. A few minutes later, Naruto returned to Sasuke's room, cancelled the transformation technique, and sat down. That's right, the mysterious ninja who mastered the Mangekyo that exceeded his pupil power was Naruto. Now, Uchiha Itachi has been completely corrected. Elite ninjas like Uchiha Hirozawa and Uchiha Natsumi also mastered the Mangekyo Sharingan and were able to become cage-level ninjas. Danzo, how are you going to deal with it next? Naruto said, closing his eyes and began to refine chakra. The sunshine he showed was to allow him to have a stable training environment. He could master absolute power faster. If Danzo wanted to make trouble, he would have to send him to paradise first. With the soul of a killer, he would not be naive to think that he could be safe just by hiding. Since he chose Uchiha, Naruto has been pushing the situation in the village step by step to divert the attention of the top leaders. Now, Uchiha already has the strength to compete, and Danzo's previous plan has failed. He actually shifted his target to Naruto, so, let's kill this rat in the gutter completely. Konoha, shrouded in the night, did not bring a trace of temperature even with the moonlight, and was extremely cold. The evening breeze in early autumn is already a little chilly. Rustle, several figures shuttled through the dark alleys of Konoha. Suddenly, these figures stopped. Security department. Why are you blocking us? The leading root member asked in surprise. Even though the guard department had more power, they would not make things difficult for the root. The root, backed by Danzo, the top leader of Konoha, had always looked down on the Uchiha. Therefore, they did not hide their dissatisfaction in their words. They were going to carry out the mission, but now they were stopped here. A spy appeared inside Konoha, betrayed the village and passed on the village's internal information. Therefore, our security department has stepped up patrols and now needs to confirm your identities. Please cooperate. The captain of the first team of the security department, Uchiha Nagas, walked out slowly. Several Uchiha ninjas around him immediately took a fighting stance. It seemed that they would fight if they disagreed. Uchiha Wazawa, our root organization does not need. Refusing to confirm his identity, he was identified as a traitorous ninja. Now, I need to take you to the security prison for interrogation. Please don't resist. If you resist, we will fight with the goal of killing you. Uchiha Nagas interrupted the other party and pulled out the short knife behind him. 3 Magatama appeared in his eyes. The Sharingan opened. Reflecting the moonlight, it shone with a bloody evil color. Uchiha Hazawa, you, laugh. I've said it all, cooperate with the inspection. The root organization can no longer protect you. Since you have chosen to betray the village, then, go and atone your sins. Uchiha Hayes finished speaking, and the root ninja in front of him had already lost his breath. As for the other 3 members who had just been with him, they were also pierced through the chest. The moment the 3 Magatama appeared, the 4 of them had already been hit by the illusion. In addition, the distance was not far, and in just a breath of time, the short knives had already pierced their chests. Tang, record their information, and then destroy the bodies directly. Go somewhere else. This organization dispatched so many ninjas in the middle of the night, which has already threatened the safety of the village. Must be resolved as soon as possible. This is the responsibility of our security department. After cleaning up the bodies in the alley, the guards left. The same thing happened in many places in Konoha. 3 days later, sir, the 7th execution team has lost contact. Moreover, other teams that went out to carry out missions and deliver information also. The root ninja was a little frightened and didn't dare to continue. Because from the existing intelligence, these teams have basically all been sacrificed. Moreover, many of these teams are still carrying out missions in the village. Including, some contact points have disappeared. This made him a little uneasy. Go on. Danzo held the scroll tightly in his hand. A total of 13 teams lost contact, and the ninjas in 4 bases disappeared. According to the information we have obtained so far, 52 people have disappeared. The root organization members spoke out the information under heavy pressure. 52 people. Humph. Danzo threw the scroll in his hand to the ground, then stood up and left the root organization. Third generation, what do you want to do? Danzo had just entered the Hokage's office and directly questioned Sarutobi Hiruzen. He had spent a lot of time and energy to train those ninjas. In just 3 days, he lost so many. In the Third Ninja World War, he didn't lose so many trusted ninjas. Danzo, what are you talking about? Sarutobi Hiruzen put down the documents in his hand and looked at Danzo as usual. Playing dumb. Sarutobi Hiruzen, don't forget. The existence of the root is not just because of me. Danzo did not continue to entangle and walked away directly. Danzo, crazy. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't care. Before, Danzo had also been angry for no reason. It was that his root organization might have had some problems again. However, Danzo had to continue to arrange root ninjas to go out to carry out many tasks this time. At the same time, he wanted to continue to contact Orochimaru and Uchiha Obito. In his eyes, Sarutobi Hiruzen's current attitude was completely because of the Uchiha. So, the Uchiha cleansing plan needs to be implemented as soon as possible. The talent shown by Uchiha Sasuke, the attitude of Uchiha Itachi, and the cohesion of the Uchiha clan all made Shimura Danzo very worried. If this continues, all his chips will disappear. Uchiha clan land. Chidori. Sasuke's chakra spread to the surroundings, lightning appeared one after another. Countless birds chirped. Chidori style. Thunder needle. Sasuke threw out a dozen Senbon with his left hand. The Chidori in his right hand attacked far away. Boom. The moment the Senbon landed, the lightning escape followed accurately. The powerful lightning raged, shattering the huge rock used for testing. Still a bit unsmooth. Such accuracy and limitations are too great. Naruto, tell me, what went wrong with my process just now? Sasuke looked at his right hand, then at the marks left on the stone in the distance. He ran to Naruto's side. Limitations of throwing. Although it can extend the direction of Chidori, it is a bit troublesome to control. The speed and penetration of the Senbon are sufficient, but it is difficult to change the trajectory at high speed. This has a great impact on the consumption and control of chakra. Some of the gains are not worth the losses. Naruto made a fair assessment based on the technique that Sasuke just released. That's right, this is possible. Sasuke suddenly pulled out a thin thread from his sleeve. You mean, you can try it, and this special fighting method can refer to the puppet master's method. Naruto saw the thin wire and understood Sasuke's idea. Good, then I will continue to try. Sasuke did what he said and started practicing ninjutsu again. In the evening, with Sasuke reluctant to leave, Naruto walked out of the Uchiha clan's territory. It has been a while since he went back, and it would be bad for Naruto to stay at Sasuke's house all the time. After practicing for this period of time, Naruto's current strength is equivalent to that of a Jonin without using the chakra of the tailed beasts and the Mangekyo Sharingan. Just kidding. The body and chakra volume of the Uzumaki clan. Namikaze. Minato's flying thunder god, Rasengan, and various attributes of ninjutsu. Kushina's sealing technique and chakra control. Naruto now has enough ability to protect himself. It is because of this that Naruto chose to start to attack Danzo. Even if Danzo is desperate, he has enough means to protect himself and deal with it. So, next, we need to move on to the next plan. Uzumaki Naruto, come with us. A deep voice came into Naruto's ears. Why, actually, there is no need to be so careful. I am not planning to escape. Of course, I don't want to go with you either. Naruto raised his head and looked at the 4 masked ninjas in front of him. There was no doubt about it. If Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to see him, he would come directly to him. Or, he would arrange for a ninja to pass on the message. Instead of showing up in such an obviously hostile manner. Do you really think that you can fight against us just because you are a mere genin? Your talent is recognized by the master, but your personality, it seems that you need to polish it. My lord is doing this for the good of the village, so. The leading ninja attacked Naruto before he finished speaking. Jaghang technique. A figure appeared behind Naruto. A pair of Mangekyo Sharingan appeared. The ninja who rushed over was pinned in front of Naruto. Is this what you do? Too weak. A ninja who only wants to bully children in the village cannot be promoted. In the future, you won't even be qualified to be cannon fodder. Naruto's sunny smile appeared on his face again. Sizzle. Lightning escape. Thunder walk. Lightning appeared on the surface of his body, and his figure turned into a residual shadow. Bang, bang. By the time the rude ninja reacted, Naruto had already punched him in the head. With the trajectory of the force, his body flipped in the air to accumulate power. He kicked another rude ninja on the head. After the third rotation, a Rasengan appeared in his hand. He smashed the last root member into the ground. A 3-meter wide round pit appeared around them. Naruto did not check on the 3 people, but slowly walked to the ninja who started the fight. I know you are anxious and want to say something. But, I'm sorry. Puff. A kunai was thrust directly into the opponent's neck. After doing this neatly, a red Rasengan appeared in his hand. The shadow clone transferred the bodies of several people over. As the flame Rasengan fell, the traces of the 4 people were completely wiped out. As for those kunai forehead guards, they were melted together. Facing a Jonin and 3 Chunin. With the help of the Sharingan illusion, he was able to kill them without any injury. The consumption of chakra was not even half. With the current situation, plus the power of the 9 tails. As long as it was not a cage-level strongman with a large number of powerful ninjas besieging, there would be no problem. Naruto was very happy to get such a conclusion. After more than a year of hard work, he had already seen a glimmer of light. Next, he needed to work harder. As a killer, Naruto believed most in the power in his hands. And, perfect preparation. Adventure. It was so funny, he was not the protagonist of a hot-blooded comic, but a person who wanted to live freely. Back to his room, several shadow clones came back with medicinal materials. In the bathroom, a medicinal bath was already prepared, and there were also shadow clones in the kitchen making medicine. Not only could he accumulate experience through the shadow clones, but he could also do many things at the same time. A day of training, plus the battle just now. Naruto slowly entered the bathtub. The numb feeling swept away all the fatigue. Half an hour later, he left the bathroom and drank the prepared soup. The warm breath circulated in the meridians. By the way, even the chakra was activated. As expected, resources are still needed. No money. Suddenly, a message from a shadow clone came. Soon, all the information came. The medicinal materials in the medicine field are not complete, so it is necessary to purchase other medicinal materials. At the same time, the purchase of training ninja tools and scrolls has consumed a lot of money. The price of the ninja tool shop of Tiantian's family is not cheap. As for the resources promised by Sarutobi Hiruzen, the resources of the Jonin, for Naruto now, it is not enough. Not to mention, he occasionally has to treat Hinata to a meal or something. It's just that occasionally, it's a bit expensive. In short of money. Ask Uchiha for it. After all, Naruto still has the identity of an Uchiha to use. But now Uchiha Nagase and others have opened the Mangekyo Sharingan. After the Mangekyo Sharingan is opened, it will stimulate the improvement of meridians and chakra. Therefore, the current Uchiha probably gave all the resources to these people. As for asking Sarutobi Hiruzen, it will expose his current strength. I have to find a way to make money, Naruto murmured. The next day, Naruto came to the mission office. Now he can choose the mission by himself. Looking at the rows of missions, Naruto looked a little strange. The return rate of these missions is too low, and it takes a long time. Advanced missions require sneaking into other villages. A-level mission, investigate the current status of the Jinchuriki of Sand Village. The next moment, an A-level mission came into Naruto's eyes. Sand Village, Jinchuriki. Isn't this Gaara? Does this need to be investigated? According to Gaara's age now, Naruto knows almost everything he has experienced. He just needs to go out and go to Sand Village. Then come back and give a simple report. Intelligence mission equals freeloading. Thinking of this, Naruto wrote down the application. Inside the Hokage's office. Naruto, you chose this mission. Looking at the content of the mission, Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little surprised. This kind of mission basically happens every year. Jinchuriki from other villages will also have missions to investigate. This month, it is the investigation mission of the one-tailed Shukaku Jinchuriki. But Naruto, Hokage, Uzumaki Naruto is just a genin. Moreover, the mission he took was a single-player mission. This is a bit against the rules, isn't it? The ninja in the mission office was a little embarrassed. He knew that Uzumaki Naruto had a good relationship with the Hokage, so he did not reject Naruto's mission application immediately. Instead, he told this information to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Let him go. That guy is back too. I'll go find him. After a brief thought, Sarutobi Hiruzen made a decision. An hour later, Naruto received a reply from the mission office that he was approved. It seemed that Sarutobi Hiruzen also agreed. Naruto did not ask any more questions and left with the mission list in his hand. Ah, you are going out to carry out a mission, alone? No, I want to go too. Sasuke grabbed Naruto's arm, looking aggrieved. If you didn't know, you would think Naruto bullied Sasuke. Sasuke, this is a solo mission. Besides, I just went out to investigate some intelligence. Soon, I'll be back. Sasuke, you have to practice hard too. I will bring you a gift when I come back this time. Naruto said soothingly. Snort, I'm just afraid that a fool like you will get beaten up if you go out on a mission alone. Otherwise, I wouldn't want to go out with you. You promised to bring me a gift. Although Sasuke tried his best to show that he didn't care, he was still a proud little princess at heart. After leaving the Uchiha clan, Naruto headed towards the village entrance. As for preparation, Naruto was ready when he went to accept the mission. Carrying a small school bag, he stepped out of the gate of Konoha. That is, Uzumaki Naruto. Is he going out on a mission alone? Looking at Naruto's receding back, the Konoha guardian ninja looked at the pass in his hand with a strange expression. Not really a person. This is the one for this time. Suddenly, a familiar voice came into their ears. Master Jiraiya. Several people stood up straight. They still respected Jiraiya very much. I will continue to trouble you to protect Konoha. I'm going out first. This kid is always causing trouble for others. Jiraiya waved his hand and walked out of Konoha. He is protected by Lord Jiraiya. Lord Hokage really values Uzumaki Naruto. Okay, go back to your seat. Outside the village. At this time, Naruto had already walked to a stream. Have you found me? Jiraiya walked out slowly. Is that Lord Jiraiya, my father's teacher? Naruto turned around with a smile on his face. But these two words made Jiraiya stunned. You know me. And, about Watergate, Jiraiya was silent. This information must not have been told to Naruto by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Then, Uchiha. Thinking of Naruto's current relationship with Uchiha, Jiraiya was slightly moved. In the whole village, it was probably only Uchiha who would tell Naruto such information. Jiraiya strode to Naruto's side. Looking at the sunny, smiling face, he felt somewhat comforted. However, thinking of the criticisms Naruto had suffered in the village before, Jiraiya still felt uncomfortable. The information was told to him by Sarutobi Hiruzen. However, the words of Sarutobi Hiruzen that he was doing it to protect Naruto did not sit well with Jiraiya. As the son of Minato Namikaze, the hero who protected the village, and as the Jinchuriki who sealed the 9 tails with his body, Naruto should not be treated like this regardless of his identity. I will carry out this mission with you. Before Jiraiya could continue, Naruto showed a puzzled look on his face. The puzzled, interrupted Jiraiya's words. You are confused. Jiraiya's mouth twitched. What is this kid confused about? Doesn't he know his own strength? How can a little kid like him face such an A-level mission? Even Jiraiya needs to be careful to complete such a mission. In the past, many such missions to investigate the tailed beasts were completed by Jiraiya. Therefore, He knew the value of this A-level mission very well. Master Jiraiya, don't you have your own mission to accomplish? Why do you want to go on a mission with me? Naruto expressed his doubts. This straightforward statement made Jiraiya speechless for a moment. Good guy, this kid is actually worried that he will take his mission. Cough cough, I have my own mission. However, our mission path. In this way, we can travel together, and I can also teach you the ninjutsu training. How about it? I am the legendary ninja, one of the 3 invincible ninjas, the white-haired boy and toad messenger, the handsome man who can even shut up a crying child, Master Jiraiya. Jiraiya made a very strange, but he probably thought it was very handsome pose. In front of Naruto, he made an exaggerated self-introduction. I just said, I know you. But my mother told me not to play with you. Stay away from bad habits, and most importantly, stay away from Master Jiraiya. Naruto said seriously. Especially when Jiraiya did such a strange thing, he quickly stepped back a long way. Jiraiya's eyelids twitched. Naruto, did you just say your mother? Jiraiya grasped the key point in Naruto's words. Uzumaki Kushina. That girl died with Minato in the Nine Tails Rebellion. Naruto, how could she? They left a seal in my body. It was my mother who left these words in my body before she left this world. As long as I can control a little bit of the Nine Tails chakra, I can get this information. So, Master Jiraiya, I know my identity. At the same time, I also understand that I am not a nine-tailed fox, I am also a normal child. In the future, I will definitely be able to become a Hokage. Naruto was talking with a smile, and when he talked about becoming a Hokage, his chin was raised a little. As expected of Minato and Kushina, they actually thought of this way to let you know the memories they left behind. Naruto, your transformation is also due to the efforts of Minato and others. So, why do you want to reject my kindness to you now? Wait, what did you just say? You have mastered the Nine Tails chakra. Jiraiya was still thinking about how to persuade Naruto to agree to go with him. Suddenly, he caught the key point in Naruto's words. Now, the 7-year-old Naruto has mastered the Nine Tails chakra. The most important thing is that when this kid talked about this matter, he still had a calm tone on his face. This is why Jiraiya didn't notice this point at the first time. Nine-tailed fox is a very friendly companion. He took the initiative to give me his chakra. Naruto nodded seriously. Kurama. Yeah, those chains, forcibly taking away chakra, saying it's time to collect rent, and so on, those weren't what you said, right? Who can argue with you? You were the one who took the initiative, right? Naruto, Nine Tails, if you can get along with the tailed beasts relatively well, that would be the best. However, we cannot trust the tailed beasts too much. They may choose to be your partner just to confuse you. Jiraiya couldn't help but remind him. A 7-year-old child was recognized by the tailed beast. Even other tailed beasts have never encountered such a situation. Those who were recognized by the tailed beasts all got recognized slowly after spending a long time with the tailed beasts. The common point among them is that these ninjas must be strong enough. The tailed beasts are definitely the ones who admire the strong. The weak ones are not worthy of the recognition of the tailed beasts. So, now I can carry out the mission on my own, right? If you are free, Master Jiraiya, you can try to take on some missions. Naruto said, waving his hand and moving forward towards the sand village. Jiraiya, who was stunned, did not react until Naruto's back had completely disappeared. Oh my god, was I just rejected by a little brat? Since when, the title of the legendary 3 ninjas is no longer useful? Jiraiya suddenly realized. After muttering a few words in his mind, he quickly followed. Naruto now has mastered part of the Nine Tails chakra. If a battle is encountered and the Nine Tails Jinchuriki is exposed outside the village, the enemies attracted may not be ordinary ninjas. Therefore, what Jiraiya has to do now is to protect Naruto. As for being despised, let him be despised. That is the son of his apprentice, and the name is still a character in his novel. As he pondered, Jiraiya discovered a problem. He lost the person. How could that happen in just a few minutes? Master Jiraiya, you should use your eyes more when sensing pursuit. I'm right here. I'm hungry. Do you want to eat with me? Suddenly, Naruto's voice came from the stream not far away. Jiraiya looked over awkwardly. At this time, Naruto was holding 3 large fish in his hands, which had been cleaned. He was preparing to grill the fish. Since you have invited me so kindly, I will not refuse a child's kindness. I want to. Jiraiya instantly came to Naruto's side and held out 2 fingers. Chapter 71. Naruto knew that Jiraiya was very shameless. No, he had no shame at all. So, he went to catch 2 more fish. After eating the grilled fish, Naruto got up and continued to move forward. Jiraiya followed not far behind Naruto, without saying a word, just following. At this time, Jiraiya still had a lot of doubts in his mind. At the same time, if Naruto's attitude towards him was really influenced by Kushina, then he seemed to should respect Kushina's last wishes. But, all kinds of contradictions and entanglements gathered in Jiraiya's mind at this time. Just like this, he followed Naruto drowsily until the evening. Master Jiraiya, there is a village ahead. We can rest here tonight. If Master Jiraiya wants to travel at night, he can go by himself first. After Naruto finished speaking, he entered the village. There is no inn here. However, Naruto used his identity as a child to find a place to stay easily. Jiraiya did not continue to follow in, but found a big tree outside the village. It was not that he could not find a place to live, but he needed to protect Naruto. There are some problems in the village now, and it is estimated that people outside have already known about Naruto's departure from the village. So, no words were spoken that night. The next day, after Naruto thanked the old woman who took him in, he once again carried his small backpack and left here. Just like yesterday, Jiraiya just followed Naruto not far away. If Jiraiya-sama wants to follow, then let's go. By the way, how to teach me to practice? I always feel weird when you follow me like this. At noon, Naruto took out the bread from his backpack and sat down with his back against a big tree. He looked in the direction of Jiraiya and smiled and said, "Didn't you say you should listen to your mother?" Jiraiya walked over to Naruto and sat down. Mom just said, "Don't play with you. I know the power of the legendary 3 ninjas. If I have your guidance, I should be able to improve my strength faster. This doesn't do much harm to me now. Besides, I also want to know why Mom doesn't let me play with you." Naruto said calmly. He didn't want to hide anything in front of Jiraiya. After listening to Naruto's words, Jiraiya was silent. This kid is too mature. This kind of maturity does not make Jiraiya feel happy, but a little distressed. Good. Well, today I will teach you a special technique. Moreover, it is a technique without attributes and seals. That is, how do you know how to use a Rasengan? Jiraiya originally wanted to show off in front of Naruto. However, when he saw the Rasengan in Naruto's hand that was bigger than him, he was stunned. Didn't I say that? Mom and Dad are in my body, passing on memories. So, my father taught me. He taught me, so I must learn it. Naruto looked innocent. It seemed like Jiraiya had asked a stupid question. How many days did you learn it? Jiraiya took a deep breath and looked at Naruto expectantly. How many days? It seems like an hour. Naruto scratched his head. The system directly put all the variations of the Rasengan into his hands in just a few breaths. However, in order to prevent Jiraiya from being too shocked, Naruto extended the time a little. 1 hour. These 4 words exploded in Jiraiya's mind. All right, so, did Minato teach you the art of summoning spirits? Jiraiya asked tentatively. No, Master Jiraiya, are you going to teach me the art of summoning spirits? By the way, you just said that you were a toad boy, right? Is my summoning beast also a toad? Naruto was waiting for this. The summoning beast is secondary. Since it is the summoning beast taught by Jiraiya, it must be a toad from Myoboku Mountain. What Naruto wants is to practice fairy arts. After mastering fairy arts, it will be easier to develop other arts. Let's try it first. If you can get the approval of Myoboku-san, I will teach you. Kulala, Jiraiya said as he took down the scroll behind him and threw it aside. On it, there were various special seals and words. I couldn't understand what it was. Bite your finger and smear the blood on your fingertips. Then, here, press your palm and write your name. Next, I will teach you the specific seals. Under Jiraiya's guidance, Naruto completed the preliminary preparations. Ding. Follow Jiraiya to learn the art of summoning, comprehend the coordinates of the different space, and master the way to enter the mysterious fairyland. As the system prompt sounded, the hand pressing on the scroll suddenly felt a strange feeling. It seemed that a hole suddenly appeared in the surrounding space, sucking Naruto's consciousness into it. Soon, a familiar energy began to appear. However, it disappeared quickly. Naruto opened his eyes and saw an extra coordinate on the system panel in front of him. He suppressed the excitement in his heart and focused his attention on the scroll in front of him. Can you sense it? Jiraiya was a little excited. Even more excited than when he first practiced immortal arts. Perceivable. But, I don't know the technique yet. That's it. Jiraiya began to make hand seals and told Naruto the order of making hand seals. Just one glance and Naruto's hands started to move. The hand seals were pressed on the scroll. Bang! With a burst of white mist rising, a huge toad appeared under Naruto's feet. Jiraiya, why did you call me here? Bunta looked at Jiraiya in front of him, his face full of unhappiness. He was just about to eat when he was summoned. Don't you know about the armistice agreement? You don't have to fight when you are eating or sleeping. I didn't ask you to come. Jiraiya was speechless. Just now, when Naruto talked about the time when he learned the Rasengan, Jiraiya was somewhat confused. But now, he was no longer confused. That was a 7-year-old kid. Huh? Question mark exclamation mark. Bunta, was he summoned so easily? Not you. Yo, my name is Uzumaki Naruto, and I summoned you just now. Naruto's voice came from Bunta's head. At this time, Bunta realized that there was a little bean on his head. Bunta's mood at this time was not much better than Jiraiya's. Hearing Naruto's voice, Wentai noticed that there was a little kid standing on his head. Jiraiya, this is your child. Bunta looked at Jiraiya strangely. Because, apart from this reason, Bunta couldn't think of any other circumstances under which a little kid could summon him. Not my child. It's Minato's child. His name is Uzumaki Naruto, and he has now signed a contract with Myoboku Mountain. Jiraiya briefly introduced Naruto. Watergate. Blue eyes, yellow hair. Bang. After saying this, Wentai jumped up instantly. Soon, he disappeared here. Oh no, this little devil. Jiraiya quickly chased in the direction where Bunta disappeared. Bunta has a rule that is not very reasonable. That is, if you want him to become a summoning beast, then you need a most basic test. That is, after getting his approval, you need to stand steadily on its back when it moves at high speed. Obviously, after hearing that it is Minato's child, Bunta has recognized Naruto. Then the next step is the qualification assessment. Bunta's jumping speed, plus the impact. Can Naruto really withstand it now? Thinking of his first assessment, Jiraiya became even more worried. Half an hour later, Jiraiya finally caught up with the man and the frog. At this time, Bunta had stopped moving forward. Naruto seemed to be still talking to Bunta. This is, past. Jiraiya's face twitched. It seemed that he had been worrying for nothing. Master Jiraiya, Master Bunta said that I am welcome to visit Myoboku-san. How can I get through? Naruto waved at Jiraiya. At the same time, his words were like a sharp knife piercing Jiraiya's heart. At first, Bunta was very disgusted with him. He always said that he was a fool and was not qualified to practice fairy arts, and looked down on him in various ways. If he had not been with Bunta for a long time, he would not be recognized so easily. Thinking of Minato, he was also recognized when he summoned Bunta for the first time. Jiraiya suddenly felt that he was the only one who was hurt. Bunta, now he can go too. Myoboku-san, how about testing him again? Jiraiya looked at Bunta expectantly. No, he's different from you. If it's this kid, the immortal should recognize him. Bunta looked at Jiraiya with disgust. Why did he dislike this old friend of his more and more now? Naruto, what do you think? Jiraiya was a little depressed. Well, I was betrayed. I want to go now. But now I still have a mission to complete. Yes, this little guy still has a mission. Wentai, you go back first. We will come back to you after we complete the mission. Jiraiya quickly took over Naruto's words and started to chase the toad away. Wentai glanced at the sunny and innocent Naruto, and then looked at the wretched Jiraiya. Snort, bang, with a cold snort, he turned into white mist and disappeared here. Seeing Bunta leave, Jiraiya breathed a sigh of relief. In his mind, he also had some more thoughts. He must prove that he is stronger than Naruto, otherwise he will never let Naruto go. 4 days later, the two entered the Kingdom of Rivers. Master Jiraiya, let's rest here today. By the way, I just saw a good place with diverse terrain. Let's go there for actual combat training today. Naruto was a little happy. After practicing for a few days, Naruto could clearly feel that his strength had improved a lot. Moreover, when fighting Jiraiya, Naruto basically didn't need to hide any of his strength. Of course, the Sharingan and the tailed beast transformation could not be used. Otherwise, Jiraiya would not have such a frustrated expression now, but would have been terrified and immediately sent Naruto back to the village. Let's go. Jiraiya was a little depressed. After all, during this period of practical training with Naruto, he really couldn't find any shortcomings in Naruto. The only shortcoming was that Naruto was too young. The chakra burst period had not yet arrived, and his physique was not strong enough. But these were only from his perspective. The benchmark was a legendary ninja like him. If it was a 7-year-old Jiraiya, Naruto could pin him to the ground and beat him to poop. Master Jiraiya. At this moment, a gentle voice came into their ears. Turning around, they saw a girl standing there. In her arms, she was holding a pig. Mute. How come? Tsunade is here again. Because Jiraiya was in the village during this period, he didn't know the latest information about Tsunade. I didn't expect that Tsunade, who was in the land of hot springs some time ago, would come to the land of rivers now. I'm going to prepare dinner for Lady Tsunade. Shizune's eyes fell on Naruto. This is Master Jiraiya's little apprentice. But Master Jiraiya is really yellow, and all his apprentices have yellow hair. This is a genin from the village, out on a mission, so we are together. Take me to see it. Naruto, today's training plan is cancelled. Come with me to meet the other legendary ninja you haven't met yet. Jiraiya said, walking towards the village. Naruto knew what happened to Orochimaru before. So, Tsunade is the last one. Naruto thought about it and followed Jiraiya's footsteps. It would be great to meet Tsunade. After all, the legendary ninja who is known as the medical saint of Konoha might be able to bring something. 3 hours later, the two stood outside a casino. We are not going in. Naruto looked at Jiraiya, his face full of confusion. He had been standing here for 2.5 hours. Jiraiya said nothing and did nothing. He just stood here. 2.5 hours was already Naruto's limit. I'm thinking, if I go in now, will I be beaten to death? Also, I need to think about whether the money I brought is enough. Jiraiya frowned, as if he was really thinking about something very important. Naruto, you say, Naruto. Just when Jiraiya opened his mouth again, he found that Uzumaki Naruto, who was standing beside him, had disappeared. It's bad. Jiraiya was shocked and rushed into the casino quickly. With his perception, he found Naruto's location immediately. However, when Jiraiya saw Naruto, his worries were put to rest. Because, at this moment, Naruto seemed to be gambling with Tsunade. That's right, as long as he didn't say something wrong and get beaten by Tsunade, then, that would be the best outcome. Wow, Tsunade's sister is so awesome, she won again. I just can't do it anymore, I've lost again. Naruto's overly obedient voice reached Jiraiya's ears. Tsunade, won again. Jiraiya felt a little strange and rushed over quickly. If it was really as he imagined, then this approach would not please Tsunade at all, and he might even be beaten by Tsunade. However, halfway through the walk, Jiraiya calmed down. Just get beaten. Anyway, no matter if it was him or Minato, they had been beaten by Tsunade. For Naruto, getting beaten was not something he could not accept. Ha ha ha, I told you, something big will definitely happen tonight. Keep going, I'll bet big. Tsunade was a little excited. After losing all night, her luck finally started to turn. The dealer didn't even shake the dice for a long time. This was ruining her mood. Good, wow. The dealer took a deep breath and began to shake the dice cup. Naruto's hand was pulling Tsunade's clothes. Open. 4, 6, 16, big. The dealer opened the dice cup and read out the number inside. Ha ha ha, it's big again. Tsunade laughed heartily. The dealer doubted his life. Naruto looked calm. Jiraiya was dumbfounded. Tsunade, won money. No, is this script wrong? Tsunade, basically, loses 10 times out of 10. Maybe she has to gamble dozens or hundreds of times before she wins once. Such good luck just happened to be encountered by that brat Uzumaki Naruto. No, could it be? Jiraiya let go of his perception, observing every movement at the scene. After Tsunade won the 10th time, Jiraiya powerlessly retracted his perception. He originally thought that Naruto came here to help Tsunade cheat in order to please Tsunade. You know, such means cannot be discovered by ordinary ninjas, but Tsunade can definitely find it. And Tsunade is the person who disdains to do such things the most. She even hates cheating. Otherwise, if such means could please Tsunade, Jiraiya would have done it long ago. But Naruto did not cheat. Tsunade was also gambling normally. In this way, okay, that's it for today. If you keep gambling, you will probably have to close down. Tsunade came down from the table happily with a big bag of money. Hey, Jiraiya, you're here too. Let's go, I won money today, let me buy you a drink. Tsunade waved her big hand and took Naruto out of the casino and went straight to the tavern. Jiraiya didn't even give her a glance, because Tsunade was talking to Naruto at this time. Naruto's sunny temperament made Tsunade feel very familiar and close. In the tavern, after taking a sip of wine, Tsunade let out a long, comfortable cry. Image, Tsunade didn't seem to need that thing either. Jiraiya, you came out with a nice little guy this time. You are not going to convince me to go back to the village in such a cheerful atmosphere. I advise you not to do that. Tsunade put the wine jug on the table and stared at Jiraiya in front of her with a smile. Not me, although, I also hope you go back to the village. But this time, I am here with Naruto to carry out the mission. Jiraiya waved his hand. Go and persuade him now. Tsunade will deal with him well. No, Master Jiraiya followed me out on a mission. He seems to be very idle, as if he has no mission. Naruto raised his head, his face full of seriousness. Ha ha ha, Jiraiya, there are times when children dislike you too. No, it's normal to dislike you. Ha ha ha, Tsunade said as she took another sip of wine. It had been a long time since we had such a happy atmosphere. Tsunade looked at Naruto who was eating in front of her, and her eyes became gentler. After eating, Tsunade was obviously a little drunk. She was staggering while walking on the road. Hey, who is this beauty? Suddenly, a few bad guys who looked like cannon fodder appeared on the road. Bang! Naruto made a move and punched the man who had just flirted with him. Lady Tsunade is very pretty, has a good figure, and is very gentle. But, it's not someone you trash can tease. Tsunade-sama, I will protect you. Naruto said, turning around and showing a big smile to Tsunade. Hearing this, Tsunade's big chest rose and fell. It seemed that something had hit her. Rope tree. Tsunade's lips moved slightly, and a ripple appeared in her beautiful eyes. The other men who were a little more sober saw the Konoha forehead protector on Naruto's forehead. They immediately knew that they had hit a wall. They didn't even want their partners and fled the scene quickly. After the episode, they returned to their accommodation. Naruto, how is Konoha doing recently? A little guy like you can become a genin, what happened? When they arrived outside Tsunade's room, Tsunade rarely took the initiative to bring up the topic of Konoha outside. Master Tsunade, I became a genin through my own efforts. Now I am. Even Master Jiraiya can't defeat me in such a short time. Besides, I will be the man who will become Hokage in the future. Lady Tsunade, you can't look down on me. Naruto raised his head and spoke with a proud look on his face. Seeing Naruto's attitude, Jiraiya's eyelids twitched wildly. How could this kid be so well behaved in front of Tsunade? When he was with him, he would either mock or fight. Good guy, even such a thing should be treated differently. You little brat, you still want to be Hokage. Come to my sister's room and tell me about your situation and the current situation of Konoha. Tsunade took Naruto's hand and walked into the house. Tsunade, I'm actually, bang bang bang, a wretched figure appeared on the street. There were a lot of big lumps on the head of this figure. Yes, it was Jiraiya who was just beaten and flew away. At this time, in Tsunade's room, Naruto looked distressed. He said he was here to talk about Konoha. How come he fell asleep while hugging himself? Moreover, the facial cleanser felt a bit suffocating. The next day, the early sun fell on the bed in the inn, and Naruto opened his eyes with difficulty. Well, it was still white. It was early in the morning, and Tsunade, that woman, was not going to get up. Well, for a ninja who was not a social animal and had enough money and strength, it seemed that he really didn't need to get up early. Because of Naruto's little action, Tsunade's attention was attracted. Little guy, are you so naughty at such a young age? Tsunade smiled and spoke, feeling the soft little hand. If this happened to Jiraiya, he would probably break a few bones. But, for Naruto, the little brother, there was no rejection, both physically and mentally. Naruto was embarrassed. Good guy, this posture has been maintained for a whole night. Although, he also rubbed Rua, but that is, cough cough, manly nature. Lord Tsunade, can you please let me go first? Just now, breathing. After hearing Naruto's somewhat intermittent words, Tsunade loosened her hand. Naruto breathed in the air, but suddenly felt a little lost. What was going on? Lady Tsunade, why did you choose not to return to the village? Jiraiya-sama said that you are a very powerful ninja. Medical ninjutsu is the best in the ninja world. Shodaime-sama, Nadaime-sama is your elder. Grandpa Hokage is also your teacher. It's the village. Is there anything that Tsunade-sama doesn't like? Naruto sat up, with a puzzled look on his sunny face. These things are not something you, a little guy, need to consider. Then, if I become the Hokage, Sister Tsunade, will you come back to the village to help me? Naruto suddenly stood up. Facing the sun, he spoke with a serious face. In his blue eyes, there was expectation and yearning. All the words Tsunade wanted to say were blocked in his throat. This little guy is more charming than Minato back then. That passion for life, that breath of youth. It's as if, in him, you can see an endless future. If you can really become Hokage, then I can come back to help you. Tsunade did not refute, and followed Naruto's words. This feeling of doting on her younger brother was very familiar and very warm. Tsunade's sister, this is the agreement between you and me. Pinky promise. Naruto stretched out his hand. Okay, let's hook. Tsunade also stretched out her hand, and the moment it touched Naruto's hand, a stream of red chakra spread along her hand to Tsunade's body. Soon, it surrounded Tsunade. This is Nine-Tailed Beast. Tsunade was distracted, and the surrounding environment had changed. The huge nine-tailed beast appeared not far away. In front of the nine-tailed beast, the sunny and cute Uzumaki Naruto was now hanging in the air. No, he was hung in front of the nine-tailed beast by the chakra chains that appeared in the nine-tailed beast's body. And the nine-tailed beast, at this time, had a special Sharingan in his eyes. Mangekyo Sharingan. When did I fall into this illusion? Or Uchiha's? Tsunade was a little panicked. She knew about the changes of Uchiha. Every time Jiraiya came back to the village, he would tell her everything that happened in the village. So, Tsunade naturally knew that Uchiha had returned to the center of Konoha. But now, this Uchiha actually did something to the tailed beast. Moreover, did he want to attack her at this time? Sister, what are you thinking about? A breeze blew past, ruffling Tsunade's hair. The voice coming from the side pulled Tsunade back to reality. Rope tree, you, sister didn't even listen to me. I said, I want to be a Hokage in the future. Protect your sister. Shang Shu looked dissatisfied. It seemed that Tsunade had just done something very bad. Looking at the familiar face in front of him, he raised his hand and touched his face. Sister, I'm telling you, I'm going out on a mission tomorrow. By then, I will definitely complete the task, accumulate reputation, and improve my strength. My sister might call me the fourth Hokage when the time comes. Shang Shu said, rubbing his nose, with a cocky face, but very sunny. You stinky boy. Tsunade opened her arms and hugged Rope Tree tightly. Sister, I have to hold it in. No matter how much Naoise struggled, Tsunade held him tightly. After a while, Tsunade finally let Naoise go. Naoise, on the other hand, stepped aside with a look of dissatisfaction and embarrassment. Sister, I am a ninja now, and I am an adult. In the future, can you please not do things that make people think I'm still a child? Sister, I'm leaving first. Rope Tree waved and ran away. Looking at the figure that was getting farther and farther away, Tsunade raised her hand and wanted to say something, but she couldn't say it. She just stood there in a daze. The little kid at home has grown up, isn't that a little sad? Another familiar voice sounded. Jiraiya. Tsunade turned around and looked at the young Jiraiya. At this moment, Jiraiya was still surrounded by that very clear aura of stupidity. Tsunade felt a strong sense of disconnection. What's that look in your eyes? Go back and prepare, the final war may be about to begin. The war should end as soon as possible, Jiraiya complained. At the same time, he also expressed his views on the war. Jiraiya, bang. Jiraiya subconsciously turned his head when he heard Tsunade's voice. The next moment, he was beaten and flew away. He really flew away. Tsunade, what are you doing? I was wrong. Run. Jiraiya saw Tsunade coming to beat him again, although Jiraiya didn't know what he had done wrong. Slash. But now, you have to run. Even, you can't look back. I just felt a little pain. Tsunade, did Jiraiya make you angry again? When Tsunade was thinking about something, a gentle voice came into her ears. As expected, is this an illusion? As expected, the next one is Orochimaru. Tsunade covered her face, a little helpless. Obviously, she knew that this was an illusion, but she didn't know how to leave here. Uchiha's illusion, Tsunade pondered, and walked step by step towards the residence in her memory. Soon, she came to an independent courtyard. Stepping into it, looking at the courtyard in front of her that overlapped with her memory, Tsunade's thoughts began to spread. Ninja World War. Now, she should be going out to perform a mission soon. And her brother will be sacrificed in this battle. The originally clear thoughts were slowly stained with red at this time. Anxious voices began to appear around. Sister, hurry up, sister just saved me, did you consume too much chakra? A familiar voice came into Tsunade's mind. After trying to see the situation clearly, Tsunade subconsciously raised her hands. The bright red blood had dyed her hands dark red. The one who just spoke was a weak but smiling boy. Rope Tree, you. Tsunade's emotions collapsed again. She hugged Rope Tree tightly. Sister, why do you like hugging me so much recently? I want to be the man who becomes Hokage, and I want to be the hero of everyone in the village. Pa. Tsunade suddenly let go of Rope Tree and slapped him on the face. Sister, snapped, although I don't know how you approached me and made me fall into the illusion. However, this method of playing with people's emotions is really despicable. Don't let me catch you, or... Tsunade's expression became gloomy, and the chakra in her body burst out. Did you find it? Crack, bang, cracks began to appear in the surrounding space. Then, it exploded. A ninja wearing a vortex mask appeared not far away. Those pupils were the Uchiha clan's Mangekyo Sharingan. Who are you among the Uchiha? Your eyes. Tsunade frowned. She was the great niece of the second-generation Senju Tobirama, and had heard too many evil things about the Uchiha since she was a child. Sometimes, even when her second grandfather accidentally fell or had a nightmare, he would say, "Is this another trick of the evil Uchiha?" It is conceivable that in Tsunade's eyes, there are still some bad views on the Uchiha. Not to mention that she was now pulled into the illusion. Tsunade was not sure whether Jiraiya could find it. It was also unclear why the Uchiha attacked her. But now, she was very dissatisfied. Uchiha 0. The man spoke slowly. 0. Tsunade frowned. She had never heard of this name. But it was true. She knew all the powerful ninjas of Uchiha. It seemed that there was no such person. I have no ill intentions. Lady Tsunade, this is something Naruto asked me to do. As for why, you can ask yourself. Uchiha Ling finished speaking and raised his finger. As the man made a seal, the surrounding space was distorted again. In a moment of distraction, Tsunade had returned to the inn again. At this time, Naruto lay on the ground. His still young face was pale. Tsunade placed her hand on Naruto's chest. Excessive chakra consumption. The body shows signs of being eroded by chakra. Tsunade thought of the 9 tails she had seen before. Could it be that, a strange idea suddenly came to her mind. Just now, that Uchiha borrowed Naruto's body and chakra, and mobilized the power of the 9 tails in Naruto's body. Did he pull her into the illusion space without her noticing? Then, in the illusion space, what the man said was true. This matter was actively requested by the little guy Naruto. But, why did this little guy? Lady Tsunade. Have you overcome it now? Suddenly, a weak voice sounded in my ears. Tsunade recalled that in the illusion, when he faced the blood of rope tree, he didn't seem to have the palpitations and panic. Lady Tsunade, if possible, please go back to the village now. The village really needs a strong ninja like you. Moreover, if it is you, I think you should be able to take this position before I become Hokage and keep it for me. Naruto tried to smile. At this point, he fainted again. Looking at the young but resolute face in front of him, something in Tsunade's heart seemed to be touched. She stood up and opened the door. Jiraiya, Tsunade called softly. Tsunade, are you okay? Naruto still has a mission to perform, can I take him away first? Jiraiya poked his head out from a corner not far away, smiling obscenely. Puff, the smile on Jiraiya's face slowly disappeared with a burst of cracking sounds. Tsunade, what are you doing? Looking at the kunai on his stomach, Jiraiya was a little confused. Although he had some problems, his crime was not punishable by death. Moreover, what he said just now did not seem to be wrong. Why, don't move. Before Jiraiya could continue thinking, Tsunade's voice rang in his ears. Then, Tsunade pulled out a kunai. A ball of green energy appeared in his hand. This, Tsunade, your hemophobia. Jiraiya was so stunned that he couldn't even feel the pain in his stomach. He had thought of many ways before. But Tsunade's hemophobia was not a physical problem, but a mental problem. There was no way to cure it. But, Naruto and Tsunade slept together last night, and the hemophobia was cured. Isn't this too magical? Alright, I seem to be really not afraid of blood anymore. Tsunade raised her hands and looked at Jiraiya's blood in her palms. Before, let alone touching it, just seeing the blood would make her body tremble uncontrollably and lose all her strength. Etc., etc. You mean, you weren't sure whether your hemophobia was cured? Jiraiya's mouth twitched. Good fellow, one of the 3 legendary ninjas, was actually used as a guinea pig. Jiraiya, has the village changed a lot recently? Those previous problems have begun to change, right? Tsunade took out a handkerchief, wiped the blood off her palm, and spoke seriously. It seems that you know. Now, the Uchiha rises and stands firmly on the side of the Sandaime. Their actions have made Uchiha go from being suppressed to being reused. With the Uchiha's containment and strength, the 3rd generation has begun to weaken the power of the root. Jiraiya told everything he knew, no matter how big or small, including how many times the Sandaime used the crystal ball to spy on the village. No, he patrolled the village several times a day. During this time, Tsunade did not interrupt. She just listened quietly. When Jiraiya finished speaking, Tsunade's eyes also had a radiance. Now, there are still Uchiha. Other families also seem to have a good relationship with the Uchiha. Then, if the root organization still wants to target Uchiha, it won't be so easy. Jiraiya, what do you think about me becoming a Hokage? Tsunade suddenly spoke up. Your analysis. Wait, what did you just say? After Jiraiya finished saying this, he even raised his hand and punched himself hard in the face. It hurts. Well, Jiraiya is already an idiot. He just got stabbed, didn't he feel any pain? This is true. Tsunade said that she wanted to go back to the village, to be a Hokage. Okay, stop being funny. I am serious. If I go back to the village now and become a Hokage, will you choose to support me? Tsunade spoke again. After having this idea in mind, Tsunade simply thought about it. But such a simple thought made Tsunade feel cold in her heart. In Konoha, her previous team members seemed to have sacrificed in the war. Even if there were those who stayed in Konoha, they seemed to have no rights and voice now. The only one who could be regarded as a force was Jiraiya in front of him. Of course, if Orochimaru was still in the village, he could also be counted as one. Even though she knew that such a thing might not be accomplished. But Tsunade still said it. Because, this was the little guy's request. You have to do it. Just do it. The strange emotions on Jiraiya's face disappeared. Instead, he looked serious. Even in his words, there was expectation and approval. In fact, Sister Tsunade will have many people supporting her. Because, I support you. At this time, Naruto also came out. Although his face was still tired and pale, his breath was stable. Looking at Naruto like this, Jiraiya suddenly remembered the content of a best-selling book he had. Suddenly, his mind was full of thoughts. Of course, he couldn't say it at this time, otherwise Tsunade might really beat him to death. Naruto, your body. Tsunade took a step forward and placed her hands on Naruto. Soon, a look of surprise appeared in her beautiful eyes. The damage to his body had almost recovered. It seemed that his mental state was also not bad. My body is fine. Uchiha Sasuke, Hyuga Hinata, Hyuga Neji, Yamanaka Ino, Akamichi Choji, Nara Shikamaru, Inazuka Kiba, Aburame Shino, they are all my good friends. We are now the only ninja in Konoha who has been specially promoted to Genin. Grandpa Hokage said that in the future we will become powerful ninjas who protect Konoha. Therefore, they can also have a say in the family. We will all support you. Naruto's confident smile made the two people in front of him laugh. Children are children, and they have no idea what the vortex of power struggle is like. However, this is exactly why children are the happiest, isn't it? Good. Then, I will go back and keep your position as Hokage for you. You have to improve quickly and become a man who can be a Hokage. Tsunade rubbed Uzumaki Naruto's head lovingly. Yeah. Naruto nodded heavily. Come on, go to the room, I'll treat you. You still have a mission, a ninja's mission, you need to be determined to execute it. Tsunade once again pulled Naruto into the room. As for Jiraiya, he was just a tool, he had been used up, so he was temporarily thrown aside. Ding, observe Tsunade's treatment, and realize that if nothing happens, you will be reborn. Reincarnation without any rules. After using, you can resurrect once regardless of any rules. The cooldown period is 1 month. P.S. After using the reincarnation without rebirth, a side effect will randomly appear, please use with caution. As the system prompt sounded, Naruto smiled. Side effects are not worth mentioning in the face of life and safety. This can be regarded as a magical skill. You know, no matter what kind of resurrection method, it requires a huge price. Almost, it requires the sacrifice of life. But now, just a little side effect. Okay, I'm in good shape. Keep training. You have a nice medicinal scent on you. Maybe you take medicinal baths regularly, right? Tsunade's gentle voice sounded. Yes, the recipes for the medicinal baths were all figured out by myself. I am now a great pharmacist, Naruto said arrogantly. To gain Tsunade's trust and recognition, it is not appropriate to show conspiracy and tricks in front of Tsunade. Just be sincere and say what you want to say. You little brat, you even know pharmacists. Show me the prescription you've been using recently. Tsunade tapped Naruto's head lightly and scolded him with a smile. Here, Naruto took out a prescription and handed it to Tsunade. These, no, this, seems to be really possible. Naruto, this is really you. Well, it seems that there is no similar prescription in the ninja world. Tsunade was a powerful medical ninja, and was very familiar with the properties and effects of medicinal materials. Therefore, the prescription Naruto gave her was quickly tested by Tsunade. After Tsunade briefly talked to Naruto about something, Naruto left Tsunade's room and headed towards the direction of the Sand Village. Although he wanted to find Tsunade to ask for some more details, Naruto had no intention of waiting for him. So Jiraiya could only hastily say goodbye to Tsunade and followed. Tsunade, who was standing on the roof, felt the breath of the two disappear. Let's go back to Konoha, Tsunade said softly. Ah. Tsunade-sama, are you really going back to the village? Shizune was very excited. Shizune had always been by Tsunade's side, but she had never seen Tsunade in such a good state. Moreover, she took the initiative to say that she wanted to go back to the village. Go back. I have to go back and keep some important things for that little guy. Tsunade's mouth curled up into a smile. The Konoha medical saint who stood on the battlefield and gave countless ninjas from the hostile village a headache is back. Seeing this, Shizune's eyes were full of little stars. Of course, she also went to pack up her things as soon as possible. Holding the little pig, she quickly disappeared from here. Tsunade picked up the wine pot and took a big sip. Back to the village, I may have to say goodbye to you temporarily. Why? After Tsunade finished speaking, she threw the wine jug in her hand directly into the air in the distance. In the streets of Sand Village, the once bustling streets suddenly became silent. A small figure seemed to be walking aimlessly on the street. In the distance, there were several ninjas from Sand Village following him. Whispering sound, the boy curled his lips and continued to move forward. Suddenly, not far away, a small figure stood on the road he had to pass. The figure was wrapped tightly. Only a pair of blue eyes were exposed. Get out of the way. This little boy was the Jinchuriki of the Sand Village, the one-tailed Shukaku Jinchuriki, Gaara. When he walked in front of the man opposite, he coldly uttered 2 words. Let's go play together. The little boy in front of him seemed not to feel the chill from Gaara. He grabbed Gaara's hand and rushed forward. The ninjas in the dark became nervous at the first moment. However, the surrounding situation was monitored by them, and there didn't seem to be any problems now. Therefore, the ninjas in the dark did not take action, but continued to monitor. It was not until they ran out of the village and came to the sand outside that Gaara reacted and shook off the little boy's hand. Because of the large amplitude of the movement, the cloth wrapped around the boy's head fell off. Golden hair, blue eyes, and a silly and sunny face appeared in front of Gaara. Gaara looked at the boy of the same age in front of him, his eyes became even darker. Why, at the same age, did he have such an innocent and sunny smile? Why, hello, I am not from the village, I am a child of the caravan. I have no friends here. Can you play with me for a few days? Uzumaki Naruto asked. That's right, this boy is Naruto. As for his identity, Jiraiya has carried out so many missions outside, it is still very easy to get an identity. Even now, the identity information obtained by the ninjas of the Sand Village is true. Now, Naruto's identity is the child of a caravan passing by the Sand Village. Whispering sound. Get out of here, otherwise, I will kill you. Gaara doesn't need friends at all. These little brats will never be his real friends. As long as they know his identity, no one dares to approach him. He is an existence that even his own father hates. He doesn't need anyone's sympathy, what he needs is everyone's fear. Gaara threatened coldly and turned around to leave. Let's play a game of catching ghosts. If you can catch me, I'll give you the candy in my hand. I am very good at this game, you will never get the candy. Uzumaki Naruto was still enthusiastic. He even started to provoke. Caught you, he, I caught you, I don't want your candy. I will take your life. Gaara stopped and turned his head. The expression on his face suddenly became extremely gloomy and terrifying. Half an hour later, this guy, where did he go? Gaara felt the surrounding environment. It was only a few tens of seconds, why did that guy disappear? He had been looking for half an hour, but he couldn't find Naruto. At this time, the ninjas in the dark were also dumbfounded. They had been watching all the time, but the little guy just disappeared from their sight. A group of ninjas, can't find a child. You lose. Suddenly, Naruto came out from behind a rock not far away, with a smug look on his face. Hearing this voice, Gaara turned around and looked at that big smiling face. The dark place in his heart spread again. Even the chakra in his body began to riot. He now extremely hated the smile of this guy in front of him. Kill him. Just kill this little guy and you won't feel this bad anymore. Kill him, quickly, let me out and kill him. A voice suddenly appeared in Gaara's mind. One of his eyes even began to change. At this moment, something was stuffed into Gaara's mouth. The sweet feeling gave Gaara a very novel feeling. Very sweet, right, now that we've played games together, we're friends. So, sharing candy with friends is a normal thing, right? Naruto said, opening another candy and putting it into his mouth. Gaara's face twitched, and he subconsciously raised his hand to hold the handle of the candy. The expression on his face became a little strange. Sweet. Gaara uttered a word subconsciously. Fast food. After you finish eating, it's time for you to hide. Naruto sat down against the boulder, letting the shadow of the boulder block the sunlight. Gaara walked over to Naruto and sat down. Neither of them spoke, but it seemed like they said a lot. Go report to the cage that a little child appeared in the village and came into contact with the Jinchuriki. Moreover, the Jinchuriki did not attack the little boy. The ninjas who were watching secretly all looked strange. Such a scene was like seeing some kind of weird drug. The monster in the village actually played with a child. Moreover, as the Jinchuriki of the village, they must report this weird scene to the cage as soon as possible. Back to Naruto and Gaara. The two have finished their candy. I want to go back. Also, you'd better not get close to me, or you'll really die. Gaara stood up, still indifferent, and walked towards the village. Hello, I'll come and play with you again tomorrow. Right here, you must find me tomorrow. Naruto stood up and waved at Gaara. Gaara's body froze, but he didn't look back or answer. He just walked away. Naruto picked up the cloth and continued to wrap it around his head. He returned to the caravan's temporary residence. It has been investigated clearly. Lord Jiraiya, is there anything else you want to do? If not, we can go back tomorrow. Naruto sat down and handed a piece of paper to Jiraiya. The investigation is done. Jiraiya was a little confused. Jiraiya saw the contact between Naruto and Gaara. But, in such a short time, the two of them didn't even have much contact. What can be found out from this investigation? One-tailed Shukaku Jinchuriki, Gaara. Personality: introvert, xenophobic, indifferent, strong sense of self-protection. Analysis: he has not been recognized by the tailed beasts and is still in opposition to them. It is speculated that he has hurt people around him because of the tailed beasts going berserk, and the number of times has been quite large. He longs for friendship and family affection, but is also afraid of these emotions. The more he read, the more frightened Jiraiya became. If he didn't know that the information he had found before was only visible to the Hokage and would never be leaked, Jiraiya would have doubted whether Naruto had read the files about Gaara. In fact, there were many things that Jiraiya had not found out at the time. Every analysis and guess was well-founded. According to the standard of this task, the one Naruto had given now was enough to complete the task perfectly. You can go back now. Why do you have to wait until tomorrow? Jiraiya put the file away and looked at Naruto curiously. Because I just promised him that we will play together tomorrow. So, I can't leave now. Naruto said, turned around and left here, back to his room. Jiraiya was stunned. That little figure, in Jiraiya's eyes, glowed. Minato, I might have found it. Not you, it's your son, Uzumaki Naruto. Jiraiya whispered. Then, he took out a scroll. Night falls quietly. In a big house, there is only one lonely figure. In the dim light, leaning on the windowsill. What are you thinking about? Suddenly, a cold voice broke the silence. The little figure paused, but did not turn around. He did not speak. Today's child. Swish. Bang. Suddenly, a tentacle stretched out from Gaara's body and hit the wall next to the man. You'd better not do anything unnecessary. Gaara's right eye has turned into Shukaku's eye. The big hand that appeared was the partial tailed beast state after the tailed beast chakra burst. Gaara's body was trembling, and he was trying his best to suppress Shukaku in his body. He still had to go out to play tomorrow. So, he couldn't make too much noise now. I love Luo, you. Luo Sha looked at Gaara in front of him, and felt a lot of dissatisfaction in his heart. He even attacked him for a so-called person. Let's go. Lord Cage. Gaara slowly withdrew his emotions. With the help of the sealed energy left in his body by Fubukuro, he suppressed Shukaku's breath. As Shukaku's chakra slowly returned to his body, Gaara lay down by the window again. The reason why he chose this place was because this direction was exactly the direction where he played with Naruto during the day. He couldn't sleep, so he could only stare into the distance with his eyes open. Luo Sha didn't say anything else and left Gaara's room. Next day. Why are you following me? Gaara's face showed obvious impatience, without any concealment. Gaara, we're going with you. Well, isn't it your friend? Yeah, we want to see your friends too. He must be a nice person. Temari and Kankuro chattered. Gaara was annoying. But, these were the only people in the village who would come to contact him, his brother and sister. Gaara strode forward in silence. Soon, He arrived at the place where he played with Naruto yesterday. Are you leaving? Naruto was there, but this time he was carrying a backpack and holding a stick in his hand. It was obvious that he was preparing for a long journey. I won't be back until tomorrow morning. Today, I can play with you all the time. Naruto raised his head and smiled widely. Humph, only an ordinary kid like you would have nothing to do. However, since you are so eager, I will still tolerate your unreasonable request. Gaara said, closing his eyes. Then I'm going to hide. You two over there, if you want to play together, close your eyes too. Naruto said, and ran back quickly. A long trail of footprints was left on the ground. It looked really ridiculous. However, the moment Gaara opened his eyes, Temari and Kankuro were stunned. They were clearly looking at that guy just now, but why couldn't they find that guy now? Kankuro even appeared at the rock where Naruto had just hidden. No one. How come? Kankuro showed a look of shock on his face. If you could find him easily, I wouldn't have lost yesterday. Let's start, Gaara said, and moved quickly. Seeing the active aura on Gaara's body, Temari showed a puzzled look on her face. This brother seemed a little different. The little guy just now. Although Temari was puzzled, she still helped to find it. It's normal for children to be a little competitive. Kanjuro, have you found him? Temari was getting a little impatient now. She wanted to use ninjutsu, but Gaara wouldn't allow it. If he could use ninjutsu, he would be able to find Naruto in a matter of minutes. After all, isn't it easy to control the sand to find someone in the desert? No, moreover, I feel like he is not far away, but I just can't find him. Kanjiro was also a little depressed. He originally thought that finding someone wouldn't be easy. Okay, time's up. You lose. At this moment, Naruto's voice came. Before the three of them could ask, a lollipop was stuffed into their mouths. After eating the lollipop, it's time for you to hide. I'll come find you. Naruto still chose the big rock to sit down, and Gaara walked to Naruto's side with ease. As for Temari and Kanku, after looking at each other, they walked under the boulder and sat down. You guys are so nice. I usually don't have any friends. No matter where you go, you can't stay long, you need to leave. I'm so envious. Naruto swung his feet, leaving a series of random marks on the sand. He looked into the distance, with a helpless look on his face. You have no other. Gaara opened his mouth and didn't continue. He thought of his friends. In the village, he didn't even have anyone to talk to. Temari and Kankuro were always cautious when treating him. Not to mention, other people. As for Rasa, that terrible man. Okay, I'm done eating. Next steps. Time passed slowly, and soon it was night. Not only Gaara, but also Temari and Kankuro, all had unnoticed smiles on their faces. The four of them talked about many things, just like close friends who hadn't seen each other for a long time. This strange relationship made Luo Sha in the distance shake his head slightly. But, Luo Sha didn't make a move in the end. The night sky of the sandy land is full of stars. Gaara seems to have seen such a night sky many times, but never once did he feel that the starry sky was as beautiful as it is now. Whoosh! At this time, Temari and Kankuro were breathing steadily. After playing for a day, they felt more tired than after training for a day. Fortunately, they were in a good mood. So, they leaned against the stone and fell asleep. Gaara, you should get some sleep too. Tomorrow, I will go back. Naruto looked at the stars and spoke softly. Sleeping. Gaara smiled bitterly. He had almost forgotten what it felt like to sleep, and he didn't need to. Gaara didn't continue talking, but slowly closed his eyes. Naruto also closed his eyes at this moment. In an instant, the surrounding scene changed rapidly. Naruto slowly opened his eyes. Yo ho ho, I knew you were not a simple person. However, since you were able to come to me, it seems that you know me, right? So, are you looking for death? Shukaku's huge body suddenly appeared. After a lot of chatter, he opened his mouth instantly, and a series of wind and sky jades attacked Naruto. Even in such a space, if the mind is severely traumatized, it will also affect reality. Poof! Just as Shukaku released the wind sky ball, a red chakra attacked Shukaku. It turned into a big hand, grabbed Shukaku's head directly, and smashed it heavily to the ground. It seems that you have already eroded the barrier here to a considerable extent. However, even if it is a tailed beast, it should also look at the situation, right? A pair of Mangekyo appeared, and the terrifying pupil power spread. The original restriction, that is, the seal left by Fenfuku, now completely disappeared. Shukaku's body completely appeared in front of Naruto. Little devil, you! Shukaku was about to explode in anger, but suddenly he saw those bloodshot eyes. Uchiha, your eyes, how could it be possible? Shukaku was scared silly. In fact, the fear was even stronger than that in his memory. At the beginning, it was a pair of eyes looking at him, asking if he was willing to be his dog. At that time, Shukaku got angry, and then he was beaten up. If it weren't for the protection of the Jinchuriki, and if there was a ninja who seemed very powerful at that time, who said that you can't steal other people's tailed beasts, it is estimated that he would really be caught and made into a dog. But now, such eyes appeared again, and on a child. That, just one tail, I really don't know what you are bragging about. Suddenly, a huge head appeared right above Naruto. Why are you here, you fox? Who are you? Are you the Nine Tails Jinchuriki? At this time, no matter how slow Shukaku was, he understood that the person in front of him was the Nine Tails Jinchuriki, who should be a ninja of Konoha. But, even if he was the Nine Tails Jinchuriki, how could he be a child? Shukaku didn't like the Nine Tails very much, but he also knew this guy's character. How could he surrender to a little brat? Haha, you stinky fox, were you beaten by this little devil? Suddenly, Shukaku seemed to have discovered something new and suddenly laughed strangely. Poof! The Nine Tails swung its claws directly, and its big paw landed on Shukaku's head. Then, all 9 tails turned into claws, and slaps kept falling. Not to mention, the 9 tails has always looked down on this useless trash with only one tail. Moreover, now his Jinchuriki has already controlled the opponent's Jinchuriki. With the blessing of the Sharingan, Shukaku dared to be arrogant when he had no ability to resist at all. Then he must treat him well. After being beaten up, the 9 tails was in a much better mood and returned to Naruto's back. Shukaku, I have lifted the seal here for you. Gaara is my friend, so you'd better cooperate with his training. If you don't want me to come to you again, Naruto said, then turned off his Mangekyo and turned around. By the way, Ju-Lama is not a stinky fox, and I didn't beat him up. I sincerely regard him as my partner. Naruto suddenly turned around and spoke seriously. Kyuubi and Shukaku were stunned when they heard what Naruto said. Kyuubi's mouth slowly curled up, and then looked at Shukaku proudly. It seemed to say, see, this is my partner. Shukaku's mind was full of the sentence, I sincerely regard him as my partner. Shukaku could clearly understand this sentence, which was Naruto's true thought. Shukaku couldn't remember how many years it had been. It seemed that he hadn't had a human he could trust for a long time. Kyuubi and Naruto disappeared here, and Shukaku also lay on the ground without moving. His eyes were slightly vacant, as if thinking about something. Outside, Naruto opened his eyes. Gaara, I hope you can have a good dream from today onwards. As for the well-behaved Shukaku, he should understand what I said. Naruto stood up, put on his backpack, and walked towards the caravan not far away. Following the caravan's footsteps, he left here. After Naruto left, Luo Sha also appeared here. Gaara's sleeping face was reflected in his pupils, and he exhaled slightly. Take Gaara, Kankuro, and Temari back first. That person came here, probably not to do anything. After Luo Sha finished speaking, his figure disappeared here. Inside the caravan carriage, did you find anything new this time? Jiraiya looked at Naruto, who was in a good mood and was a little curious. Just now when Gaara was sleeping, I touched the one-tailed Shukaku. In fact, the tailed beasts are all very well behaved and cute little ones. He promised me that he would never be naughty again. Naruto did not hide. I made contact with one. What did you just say as a cutie? Jiraiya found that his nerves were almost weakened. Following Naruto out on a mission broke too many of his perceptions. The perception of genius. Tsunade's change in attitude. The tailed beast turned into a cutie. Naruto didn't say anything, but just leaned against the carriage and looked at the darkness outside. Is it because you are in the darkness that you want to touch that little bit of light? The starry sky is like this, and so are people. Seeing that Naruto didn't say anything, Jiraiya also took out a notebook and started to record something. Both of them were worried, but they didn't bother each other anymore. When passing by the river country, Jiraiya paused for a moment. After learning that Tsunade had left, Jiraiya's mouth curled up into a smile. Now, the return speed was a little faster. 2 days later, Naruto and Jiraiya were already standing at the gate of Konoha. After entering the village, Naruto took the information he had investigated and went to the mission office. Looking at the information provided by Naruto, plus the time it took to complete it. When Jiraiya went out to perform this mission before, it took 1 or 2 months. It would take even longer to investigate other tailed beasts. Now, how long has Naruto been out? Less than a month, and he has already completed it. Here is the reward for the task. The task record has been registered. Naruto, you are really good now. The ninja in the mission department put away his surprise and said with a smile. Thank you. Naruto took the reward and left. He used the reward to buy some things and went to the Uchiha clan. Swish. A kunai shot out instantly. After Naruto dodged it, the shuriken in his hand also shot towards the tree not far away. Ding ding ding. A figure jumped out, drew the short sword from his waist, and attacked directly. Naruto held a kunai in his hand. Lightning escape. With the chakra of lightning escape wrapped around him, he attacked the opponent directly. Ding. The kunai and the short sword collided. It's gotten a little stronger. How about it? Did you bring me something this time? Sasuke put away his short sword and looked at Naruto proudly. Here, Ichiraku ramen. Naruto handed the ramen in his hand to Sasuke. This is in the village. Do you want to eat? Eat. The two returned to Sasuke's home, and Naruto told Sasuke about his experience out this time. Puff. Boy, why don't you come to see me when you come back? Didn't you ask me to come back and help you guard that position? Heartless little guy. Just as Naruto and Sasuke were talking, their heads were suddenly grabbed and pressed against something soft. Naruto struggled in that gentle embrace, and Sasuke looked at the woman in front of him in surprise. And that was so big. For a moment, the hand holding the ramen stopped in midair. You, what kind of perverted woman are you? Let go of Naruto. Sasuke suddenly came to his senses, drew the short sword from his waist, and threatened. Naruto, you haven't told your friends about me yet. I'm not some perverted woman, I'm Tsunade, the director of Konoha's medical department. Tsunade stretched out her hand and poked Sasuke's face. Sasuke was embarrassed by Tsunade's action and quickly stepped back. He felt that this kind of woman was too scary. Sasuke, this is Tsunade, one of the 3 legendary ninjas, a disciple of the Hokage, and also the most powerful medical ninja in Konoha. Naruto spoke quickly. How could Sasuke be a match for Tsunade now? The main reason was that he was afraid that Tsunade would bring misogyny or other aesthetics to Sasuke. Then Sakura could only go, cough cough. Lady Tsunade. Whispering sound. Sasuke glanced at the gentle place and turned his head away subconsciously. Lady Tsunade, I just returned to the village. Why did you suddenly come to see me? Naruto retracted his gaze and looked at Tsunade. You said you would help me, come on, come with me. You are Uchiha Sasuke, right? Tell your father that I will come to your house for dinner tonight. I'll take your good friend away first. Tsunade left this sentence and left with Naruto. Sasuke was stunned for a moment, holding the ramen and quickly went to the study. Sasuke, I don't eat ramen, let alone your leftovers. Uchiha Fugaku looked at Sasuke who rushed in with ramen, and said jokingly. Now, the relationship between them has eased a lot. Uchiha Fugaku is no longer as cold as before. After all, his 2 sons are so outstanding, what else can he be dissatisfied with? No, father, just now, there was a very big woman, cough cough. No, it's a woman, Naruto said she was called Tsunade-sama. She took Naruto away and said she would come to our house for dinner in the evening. When Sasuke recalled Tsunade, the first thing he thought of was her big breasts. He was a little confused when he spoke. Lady Tsunade. Uchiha Fugaku also stood up from his seat. He knew that Tsunade had returned to the village. However, the first thing Tsunade did after returning to the village was to ask Sarutobi Hiruzen for the position of director of the medical department. During this period, medical ninjas have been trained in the hospital. At the same time, the integration of ninja mission teams has been started. It is required that teams that perform B-level missions and above must arrange a medical ninja. During this period, many ninjas received good treatment at the first time after being injured. Tsunade's reputation in the village has suddenly improved. Coupled with her identity as the first-generation granddaughter and the medical saint of Konoha, her reputation has increased very quickly. But, why did Tsunade suddenly contact Naruto? She even proposed to come to dinner in the evening. Father, should we refuse? Sasuke saw that Uchiha Fugaku was hesitant, and subconsciously asked. No, you go talk to your mother, I'll go to the security department to find Itachi. Uchiha Fugaku said, and quickly disappeared here. Tsunade's purpose of coming is unclear, but it is definitely right to be able to establish a good relationship with Tsunade. Although Senju has disappeared, as long as Tsunade is still there, Senju will also be there. In addition, the relationship between Jiraiya and Tsunade's own identity. This is definitely a good thing for Uchiha. Night, Tsunade, what are you going to do? Sarutobi Hiruzen in the Hokage's office looked at the information sent back by the Anbu with a puzzled look on his face. During this period, Tsunade's actions were not concealed at all. What she was going to do was exposed. Coupled with Tsunade's sunny and enthusiastic personality, many ninjas were rapidly improving their favorability towards her. Moreover, today she took Naruto to visit various ninja families. In the evening, she also entered the Uchiha clan. It should be to Uchiha Fugaku's home. Hokage-sama. Asuma came here at this time. After the last incident, Asuma felt a little regretful. Being too emotional is wrong. So, when Sarutobi Hiruzen came to him this time, he came here immediately. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Asuma and handed a scroll to him. This is. Asuma was a little confused, but he still opened the scroll. After reading the contents, his face turned ugly. It contained all the information about Tsunade during this period, including the work of the medical department, the communication with other ninjas in the village, the tactical adjustments made, the training of medical ninjas, one thing after another. It was talking about Tsunade's achievements after returning to the village. The more Asuma read, the uglier his face became. Hokage-sama, what is Lady Tsunade trying to do? Although Sarutobi Asuma had guessed it, he still didn't want to think about it. It is obvious that Tsunade wants to compete for the position of Hokage. Besides, I am indeed older. If you continue. So, Asuma, if you want to do something, don't keep going like this. Sarutobi Hiruzen was somewhat helpless. Tsunade was indeed a good successor to Hokage. But, because of the previous events, Tsunade did not trust Sarutobi Hiruzen very much. If he wanted to intervene in the management of the village after Tsunade became Hokage, Tsunade would probably not allow it. Tsunade's personality was different from Minato's. Therefore, even though he was a little disappointed with Asuma, Sarutobi Hiruzen still wanted Asuma to fight for it again. I understand. Asuma nodded, then placed the scroll in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen and turned to leave the Hokage's office. Not far away, a figure appeared in front of Asuma. Sir, I want to see you. The root ninja spoke in a low voice. Let's go. Asuma did not refuse and followed the root ninja out of here. At the same time, in the Uchiha clan, Minister Fugaku, you Uchiha have become very different over the years. I've heard some of your stories. You have made a great contribution to the current peace and stability of Konoha. Cuckoo. As he walked away, he picked up the wine flask and took a big sip. His face was flushed, but what he said made Uchiha Fugaku very satisfied. The current Uchiha really deserves such praise. In addition, this is the praise given by the legendary 3 ninjas who came to visit in person. Tsunade-sama, you are overpraising me. Tsunade-sama's ability is obvious to all. In just this short period of time, the strength of the village's medical ninjas has been greatly improved. Medical ninjas are the second life of ninjas during missions. This is truly a real benefit to the village and the ninjas of Konoha. Don't forget the courtesy when you come and go. Uchiha Fugaku also followed the business and started to brag to each other. A dinner that was a great pleasure for both the host and the guests. Okay, Minister Fugaku, you don't have to send me off. Naruto will take me back. I hope that we can cooperate more closely in the future and strive to make Konoha stronger. Tsunade waved her hand and left the Uchiha clan. On the street. Because she drank a little too much tonight, Tsunade was a little shaky when she walked. However, this mental state is enough to show that Tsunade's actions after returning to the village were relatively smooth. Otherwise, she would not be so indulgent. However, Naruto knew that Tsunade was not as free and easy as she seemed. Tsunade has been away from the power center of Konoha for too long. Even if she has strength and status. But, the ridiculous things that happened after she left the village, the ninjas in the village are all clear. In addition, Konoha's power is highly concentrated, and it is not a simple matter to convince those ninjas. Of course, except for Uchiha. After all, the Uchiha had just been caught in the rain and finally found the eaves. Therefore, when Tsunade came, they would naturally be enthusiastic. As for other ninjas, Tsunade even had to bring Naruto with her to have an excuse to contact those people. Lady Tsunade, call me sister. Before Naruto could finish, Tsunade hit him on the head. Sister Tsunade, it will be even harder from now on. How about speeding up? Naruto didn't get angry and spoke slowly. Speed up. Tsunade looked at Naruto with a strange look in her blurry eyes. Tsunade had tested what Naruto had said before. This kid seemed to have good abilities. The ninja clans were serious about their recognition of Naruto. It was not just superficial. Tsunade also confirmed that the children of those families were all geniuses. Even the stubborn Hyuga Hiyashi of the Hyuga clan received her warmly. This was already considered speeding up. How else did this kid want to speed up? Rustle. At this moment, a group of ninjas appeared on the road not far away. Member of the root organization of Type A. Coming for you. Tsunade looked at Naruto strangely. I think so. So, Lady Tsunade, leave these people to us. The root organization is now in your hands. After Naruto finished speaking, several figures appeared behind him. Uchiha Sasuke, Hyuga Neji, Hyuga Hinata, 11 people just stood there. This is really troublesome. I can't figure out why I was involved in such a thing. Nara Shikamaru covered his head with a helpless look on his face. This is youth. Following Naruto-kun, youth becomes more glorious. Shaoli showed his big white teeth, which were shining even at night. Okay, get ready to fight. I've heard of the root organization, it's very strong. Hyuga Neji instantly started to use his Byakugan, and all the surrounding situations fell into Hyuga Neji's eyes. Why would I want to join a battle of this magnitude? Sakura looked embarrassed, but she still began to release her chakra. Naruto said that after this battle, we don't have to hide in the village anymore and can train and fight better. Everyone, please cheer up a little, or you might die. Uchiha Sasuke opened his double Magatama Sharingan, which looked extremely evil under the moonlight. Naruto, you. Tsunade also noticed these people at this time, and was shocked for a moment. Even the strong drunkenness also dissipated at this time. Sister Tsunade, I leave it to you. Naruto smiled, and the Nine Tails chakra began to appear on the surface of his body. The 11 people behind him also began to appear this chakra. After seeing this chakra, Tsunade made a decision in her heart and disappeared here using the instant body jutsu. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.